Not hear nobody. It's my phone.
The victory of light we stand tall, we stand proud with all our might. Menelik the king, the hero so true, his name will forever shine through and through and through.
Majesty bless, my Lord and Empress. Happy celebration to one and all. Call for virtual reverence in the virtual courts of Rastafari. The heaven declare the glory of God and the firmament showeth his handiwork. The unto the uttereth speech night unto night showeth forth knowledge. There is no speech, no language where their voice is not heard. The black cries in Emmanuel the 7. Adonai God, Jah, Rastafari. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for us, brethren, that to dwell together in your love. It's like the precious ointment upon our head and went down unto our bed. Even the Aaron's beard that went down unto the skirts of his garment. As it you have commanded, that is for me the Lord commanded his majesty love forevermore. Hail our God, Selassie, Jehovah God, Rastafari. O Almighty God, Rastafari, great and terrible God, Rastafari, the Almighty God. Jah, who seated in Zion and reign the heart of our flesh. O thou most high eternal Father, Jehovah God, Rastafari. Hear us and bless us, O Lord, keep and sanctify us, Lord. Because thy holy face is shine upon us, thy children, that we shall be saved and redeemed. O thou most high God, Jah, Rastafari. To the work, there is room for all. And the kingdom of darkness and error must fall. And the name Jehovah exalted shall be, while we herald the tidings, salvation is free. Salvation, God, Jah Rastafari, Sila, King Selassie, Jah Rastafari, my Lord and Empress. Give thanks once again, my Lord and Empress. Give thanks to the EABIC, Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, and the Church of True Divine Salvation. Give thanks for standing governmental, parliamentary, political, statical, and sabbatical. It's our worthy leader, our president, our God and King, the three in one and the one in three. Here's Sky and sea. Three we never disagree. Marcus I, Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah Rastafari, my Lord and Empress. And we call upon our beloved Mother Miriam with her angelic voice to bless us with her chorus as we go on as today's program. Majesty bless, Honorable Empress.
Hey, give thanks, Honorable Chair, for your welcome. Give thanks at the celebration, each and every one that are present here today, as we celebrate our 68 years of anniversary since the father formed this Congress, this beautiful Congress that he had formed for I and I, sons and daughters. So we are here today and giving him thanks and praise, for such blessing. My Lord and Empress, welcome, welcome. Ethiopian Congress moving on. Black International Congress moving on. From highland from lowland to island, over mountain, rocks, and valley. We are gonna lift our banner high. We are gonna wave them to the land. We are gonna sing and shout. We are gonna praise for the Congress moving on. Ethiopian Congress moving on. Black International Congress moving on. From lowland to highland, over mountain, rocks, and valley. We are gonna lift our banner high. We are gonna wave them to the land. We are gonna sing and shout. We are gonna praise for the Congress moving on. Ethiopian Congress moving on. Black International Congress moving on. From lowland to highland, over mountain, rocks, and valley. We are gonna lift our banner high. We are gonna wave them to the land. We are gonna sing and shout. We are gonna praise for the Congress moving on and on. Holy Mount Zion, 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 Lord, holy Mount Zion. Zion, mighty Redeemer, wonderful Savior, Jehovah, Jah,
Yeah,
Rastafari, cutting
Rastafari.
and clearing. My Lord and Empress, back to the chair. Give thanks.
Majesty Empress, do give thanks. And I call on the Honorable Priest Nappy, our beloved brethren, to give us a word of welcome on this our Congress Day moving on. Majesty.
My Lord and Majesty, out of love, greetings once more, family, for
My
this blessed
Lord,
day. Give thanks for the founder of our Congress, Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edward, Give thanks for the times that him set forth this Congress where him know we're going to have something that we need in this time. To keep us in line and walk in way of truth and rights, and to govern ourselves within, So we give thanks for this day and to all members wherever your space is at the moment. One out of love, one out of celebration. And as we say in this forum here, I here only seek the truth, Because with the truth, no one have no power over you, Said by the Lord Most High, King Emmanuel VII. Adonai, God, Jah, Rastafari. So give thanks once more. Welcome one and all. Open your heart door wide towards Jerusalem. My Lord and Empress, Jehovah, Jah, Rastafari. Give thanks, my Lord.
Yeah. Majesty bless.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Give thanks to the Black Congress moving on from lowlands to highlands. And I am Empress Dion, and this is the roll call today. 1st of March, 2026. Honorable Priest Ainsley.
Majesty bless.
Honorable Priest Earl.
All family, one perfect love.
Honorable Priest Nappy.
Out of love, family.
Honorable Priest Sevon.
Blessed love, family.
Honorable Priest Aragon.
Our family blessed present.
Honorable Prophet Okito. Honorable Prophet Jabari.
Blessed love queen.
Honorable Leading Empress, Empress Miriam.
blessed love,
Prophet
Honorable.
Rio. You know, call Prophet Rio.
Honorable Prophet Rio. Pardon me, my lord.
Out of celebration.
Honorable Empress Akem.
Blessed love, royal family.
Honorable Empress Trisha,
Blessed love royal family.
and I am Honorable Empress Dion. Let the
And
record
Honorable
show.
Empress Afi.
And Sandra, Sister Sandra supposed to be there.
Talk cauldrons.
No, they're not here right now.
Okay.
Empress
Empress
Afi is here.
Afi.
Honorable Empress Afi,
Blessed love royal family.
blessed love. Pardon me. Let the record show, and there's 11 participants at the beginning of the meeting. Please remember to stay hydrated during the meeting. It brings clarity besides quenching thirst, it is beneficial for your blood, your health, and your mental well-being. So please remember to stay hydrated. And also remember to have your pens, pencils, pads, anything that you feel comfortable taking notes with to write down your questions or suggestions for question and answers at the end of the meeting. Please remember, we are live streaming on YouTube, EABIC, Council of Elders. And if you are viewing from on YouTube, please remember to subscribe, like, and share. Rastafari bring peace and love, one perfect love, royal family. Heart of celebration, my Lord and Empress, on to our inspirational moment with our Honorable Royal Tech, Honorable Empress Trisha. Blessed love.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Give thanks. Heart of
Practice
celebration. Heart of celebration to one and all as we celebrate this 68th year since our Father has set this Congress walking in truth and right. Give thanks, my Lord and Empress. Today, we are continue reading from our Queen Sister Ayanla Van Zandt, Acts of Faith, Daily Meditations for People of Color, March 1st. It is impossible to pretend that you are not heir, H-E-I-R, to, and therefore, however inadequately or unwillingly responsible to, and for the time and place that give you life. James Baldwin. We each come into this life to learn, relearn, or unlearn something we need to know. As difficult as it may be to accept, we choose the exact circumstances into which we are born. Whether it is poverty, abandonment, abuse, rejection, or disease, our deepest self knows the lessons we must learn. Our mind chooses the path. Life's lessons are few: peace, freedom, strength, justice, faith, and love. All the answers you need are buried within you. For just a moment, let go of the anger, of the fear, of the guilt, of the shame, and of the blame. Focus all of your attention on the center of your being and ask yourself, what is it that I must learn? The more often you ask, the more sincere you are to know, the faster your answers will come. I am willing to take full responsibility for me. Reflection of the day. Reflect deeply on the circumstances of your life. What lessons are you learning? Are you putting those lessons to good use? My Lord and Empress, blessed heart of celebration to one and all again. Peace, love, joy, and happiness throughout.
Honorable Majesty, as we continue with our program for this morning period, this afternoon period of celebration, anniversary celebration of our beloved Congress, 1st of March 1958. We give thanks and welcome all ones. So this is just a greetings and an opening towards our program. All man are son, all man and daughters are sons and daughters of God. And if they live a holy life, they always are at home with God. They see and understand the works of God, and in his sacred name they can perform these works. The lightnings and the storms are messengers of God, as are the sunshine, rain, and dew. The virtues of the heavens are in God's hand, and every loyal son and daughter may use these virtues and powers. Man and woman are delegates to do his will on earth. Continue. And they can heal the sick, control the spirits of the air, and raise the dead. All man and woman of right may gain the power to do these things, but they must conquer all the passions of the lower self, and they can overcome if they will. So, man and woman of right are God and goddesses on earth, and they who honor God must honor man and woman. For God and man and woman of right are one. Sila Selassie. Jah Rastafari. To be continued, my Lord and Majesty. Honorable Priest Nappy.
I give thanks once more, yes. Today, give thanks, Congress, once more, for this blessed day. Today, as we celebrate Congress Day, our Founders Day, we reflect on the genesis of our esteemed association. Founded as a government within a government to represent the disenfranchised Africans who are constantly marginalized by Western societies. We also reflect upon Dada, the father, the Black Rice, King Emmanuel Charles Edward, our worthy leader, president, God and King. The spotless Lamb of Calvary, who during this period of Lent fasted for 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness to overcome the temptations of Lucifer. King Emmanuel sacrificed his life as a token for the sins of humanity. He lived a devoted and holy life, separated himself from the ways of the world. He called to his side I and I, his disciples, to assist him in gathering the people and preparing them for a greater world or on high. As Christ of 2,000 years ago, who was persecuted by the Romans and nailed to the cross, and whom after 3 days conquered death and hell to reclaim the glory of his Father, the Almighty Creator, who seated in Zion and reigneth in the hearts of all flesh. To be continued, my Lord and Empress.
I'm reading, my Lord. Go ahead.
Okay. Continue reading.
Yes, my Lord.
Give thanks. Dada transition on the 31st of May 1994, passing the mantle onto his devoted and loyal disciples to carry on the mission of the King. Let us now analyze the mission of the King and the purpose of the Congress. My Lord and Majesty, be continued.
Yes, blessed love, my Lord and Empress. In the absence of the next reader, I will begin to read the superiority of the Congress. And this is just for questions, answers, just to spark the minds of ones and ones. One of the cultures strongly held among members within the Congress is that the association is above all organizations. It was recently stated in a communication from a member of the foundation that the other existing groups of Rastafari must come and bow or submit to the representation of the Congress, or in other words, follow the directives and the mandates of the EABIC. Here again, we see the misguided and simplistic interpretation of a statement used in its original context to inspire excellence among the members, but instead, those lacking the understanding have spread a sentiment that goes against the scriptures and common sense. The scripture says, "In my Father's house, there are many mansions. If it were not so, I wouldn't have told you so." The statement interpretation is that there are different groups of the same persuasion. It is the conditioning of the colonial mindset that leads an individual to think that a group within the collective of groups is supreme. That could be true if a specific group was able to function at a higher level, setting standards above the other existing groups. Within Rastafari, and applying such understanding, the achievements of the Congress having proven the statement to be fact in 30+ years. What has the EABIC done in recent years to prove such excellence? In the area of religious practices, the House of Priests stand humbly and are duty-bound servants of God, tasked with ministering to the spiritual needs of our people. But as a government in its representative capacity, it has been decades of non-action where the voice of agitation has been silent. There is no administration and there are no institutions to address the needs and concerns of the people. What has the Congress done or achieved to incite the submission of other groups? Is it that some members surmise the responsibility of leadership as a right granted by God? If so, where was such a hierarchy established and in what context is it written? Bobo Shanti, liberty as a priesthood, is one of a kind. That is a fact. But as a government, the Congress has failed to effectively and efficiently address the governmental, statical, and social needs of the African population. In the last 3 decades, the Congress has been in disarray and its members has been in isolation mode, refusing to interact with the general population, especially other Rastafari groups. There are only a few individuals who have built relationships among other mansions. There is a newly formed collective group seeking to address some pressing needs within Rastafari called the Rastafari Mansions and Organizations. There are representatives of the Congress within the group who are taking flack for sitting at the table. The Council of Elders have given their blessings to those representatives after the aims and objectives were explained. In the years of missing representation, waiting for the redevelopment of a functional administration, members sought to use their skills and understanding to assist the movement in addressing urgent situations such as Rastafari members being trimmed and their human rights being violated, children being prohibited from receiving education because of their religious beliefs or their cultural practices, members being arrested for the possession of and use of sacrament, and members being preyed upon and murdered, etc. The representatives joined in unity to address these issues where the Congress was missing and unable to do anything to secure the rights of the members and the public at large. How can the foundation expect other groups to do How can the foundation expect other groups to, at this time, follow the directives when there are none? Where is the manifesto or the strategic plan of action for others to follow? Where are the examples of leadership to inspire participation among other groups? In the area of repatriation, the Congress has done the most work and representation in the past, but in present years are visibly absent from the front line of advocacy. To now vilify members who seek to unite with others in our community who are of similar minds to address urgent matters is biasly wrong. What are the members to do? The myths and allegories which fuel the understanding of many members are part of the problem of disunity. Today's program is an earnest and sincere effort to address these matters so unity of purpose can be reestablished and functionality restored to our Congress. Blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Questions to ponder as we seek to reorganize our Congress. Honorable Priest Ainsley, my Lord.
Bless, Honorable. And
Greetings,
seeing that is
family.
blessed love.
Honorable
seeing
Prophet Albert.
Honorable Prophet, give thanks. Give thanks to the community. Yes, my Lord and Empress, and see 68 years now operating. Our founder and leader did rise us up in 58. It's a time now where we have to dissect and ask ourselves some hard questions. Because we have seen the decline over the years, and we don't want to, how some people figure it was perfect in theory, but we never reached to the practical perfection, which we still aspiring to. So if you don't insult man, you can't question it, well then you have a problem. So we have some of these questions we say we'll have put forward, and let us be true to ourselves. We see that the concept is perfect. We just have to aspire to it. So we continue. Yes, Empress. 1. We asked this question already. Is the Congress a church or a government for the poor and disenfranchised? 2. Is the work of the Congress to present salvation to them or provide representation? 3. Is it the true divine church of salvation duty to provide representation for the people or to minister salvation? Which institute was first established, the Congress or the church? 5. Are the skill set needed to function in both institutions the same? Can a parliament be established without a constitution? Is a constitution a sacred document or a set of guidelines? Are those 7 questions we asked, Empress?
My Lord.
Yes. So these are some of the questions what arise up, which we should be able to define moving forward. So I wouldn't take it upon myself right now to define it all, because we're going through with the program. So we also celebrating the Battle of Adwa. Honorable Priest Earl, Majesty bless. Honorable You can unmute your mic, Priest.
If him not available, I will read it,
Yes, please.
Is that all right?
Yes, Honorable.
Yes, give thanks. So today, March the 1st, is the anniversary of the Battle of Adwa, celebrated throughout the Black world. We pray that those great ancestral spirits return within the Black Tiger, as he had promised to aid I and I Africans in our battle against the oppressors, and grant us another conclusive victory over the evil that seeks to dominate Africans globally. So it was promised. So let it be done. Continue. Honorable Empress Diane. Royal
My
Empress.
Lord and Empress,
Ready.
the Battle of Adwa. Italy, that old Roman Empire, sought to make Ethiopia its colony in 1896 and invaded the sovereign nation. The pretense used was that Emperor Menelik signed a treaty relinquishing their autonomy by making Italy its protectorate, when the original understanding was that in case of a dispute with other nations, Italy could negotiate on Ethiopia's behalf. The treaty was purposely misinterpreted to validate their reasons for invading Ethiopia. Ethiopia, under the leadership of Emperor Menelik, his wife Empress Tayatu, and his Major General Ras Makonnen, outmaneuvered the modern, well-equipped army of Italy and disgracefully defeated them at the tongue of Adwa. This made Italy the laughingstock of Europe. The victory secured the last bastion of freedom on the African continent. The defeat also proved to the rest of the African continent that the Europeans could be defeated. It is the most important victory in the Black world, next to that of the Haitian defeat of France in 1804. Historic markers that establish the eventual liberation of Africa and the African diaspora. These two victories solidified the path to liberty and will forever remain a reminder of the power of Africans, even when it seems that all odds are against I and I. With Christ in the vessel, we will laugh at the storms, for we remain confident in the victory of good over evil. The fact is, Italy thought that Ethiopia was the greatest prize on the African continent, being the home of the Ark of the Covenant and the seat of the Talbot. If they possessed it, they would have held its power, giving them authority over world affairs. They were right, but they were wrong. The power granted to Ethiopia was guaranteed by the 7 covenants God made with Ethiopia, the continent. The entire African continent during antiquity was known as Ethiopia, to be continued by another mighty angel.
Majesty bless.
We have a
Honorable
video coming up.
Queen's music. ክቡ ሰው መሆን ክቡ ሰው ሞቷል ሰው ሊያድን ሰው ሲያከብር በደግነት በፍቅር በክብር ተጠርቶ በክብር ያዳን ሰው ሊኖር ሰው ሞቶ የተሰጠኝ ዛሬ በነፃነት ሰው ተከፍሎበታል ከደምና ከአጥንት ስንት ወገን ወደቀ በነፃነት ምድር ትናገር አድዋ ትናገር ተመስክር ትናገር አድዋ ትናገር ሀገሬ እንዴት እንደቆምኩኝ ከፊታችሁ ዛሬ በኩራት በክብር በደስታ በፍቅር በድል እኖራለሁ ያው በቀን 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 ደሞ መከራውን ያን ሁሉ ሰቀቀን አድዋ ዛሬ ናት አድዋ ትናንት መቼ የተነሱና የወዳደቁት ምስጋና ለነሱ ለአድዋ ጀግኖች ለዛሬ ነፃነት ለበቁን ወገኖች የጥቁር ድል አምባ አድዋ አፍሪካም የኢትዮጵያ ተናገሬ ተናገሬ የድል ታሪክሽን አውሪ ተናገሬ
So to the family, that was an original music covering, it says here that we, the members of the Wing Music Band, would like to extend our heart thanks to the original singer and songwriter, Yehu Shebabawe Gigi, for this powerful song. We believe this cover music about the Battle of Ottawa serves as a powerful metaphor for resilience and empowerment, echoing the values that the Wing Music Band embodies. The Battle of Ottawa symbolizes strength against adversity, much like the challenges faced by young girls and boys today. By connecting the historical significance of the battle to our current mission, we aim to inspire both girls and boys to engage in meaningful conversations and social issues. We adore Gigi and she is our role model, my Lord and Empress. So that is the music that was played before. March 1896, the Ethiopians defeated the Italian army, which was one of the proudest moments in the African history. Honorable Priest 7.
That's the love, my Lord and Empress, heart of celebration. Give thanks for the Battle of Ottawa and Congress Day, such sacred alignment, you know. Do give thanks for this moment and time. Bless the Lord. Continue on read. We give thanks once again for another anniversary commemorating 68 years of our Congress and what our founding father has established. The Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards gathered the rashes and the masses, and here we stand today as a byproduct and representation of the Black Christ teachings. Therefore, we cannot continue to allow false doctrine to plague Christ's kingdom. We must understand the difference of what is the Black Christ teachings and what is the church's doctrine. The difference between what Jah say and what man say. To profess that Jah say when he didn't or didn't say in that context is not just a lie, but it is called doctrinal gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation which systematically distorts, denies, or twists established facts to make individuals doubt true reality and authentic perception. It is usually used to enforce compliance, maintain power, and erode confidence. It has caused inequitable and slanderous behavior patterns of individuals reacting offensively rigid to anyone who doesn't conform to these false doctrines. For the sake of equality and justice amongst us, we must discern between sound doctrine and false doctrine. All doctrine derives from a teaching, but are sometimes misinterpreted, which causes misconception, leading to the derailment of the intended purpose it's supposed to be serving. We are defeating our purpose by overriding Christ's teaching with the church's doctrine, which causes fallibility to comprehend and understand the Black Christ salvation. Christ's teaching is love. Love hands all laws and commandments, principles, doctrines, statutes, precepts, etc. Love is the greatest element in the earth that regulates and resonates with all forms of life. The more we deny the inaccuracy of our doctrinal beliefs, the more we deny the Christ consciousness in ourselves. Our conscience will always whisper the truth whether we deny it or not. It is the very breath of life. So let us not get carried away by making doctrine our God. False doctrine equals false God. But rather acknowledge the love of God in flesh first before anything else. For God is love, and anyone who loveth is born of God and knoweth God. So let us be mindful of putting doctrine before the love of God. Remember the first commandment. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. One way to the pearly gates is Father Moses' way. Father Moses' way is love. Any other way is vain. Any other way is weaken the king. Holy King Emmanuel VII, Adonai God, Jah, Rastafari, my Lord and Empress, to be continued.
Honorable Priest Adigan, my Lord. Priest Adigan,
Yeah, blessed Lord. Give thanks.
bless.
Yeah. Yeah, do give thanks, you know. For another day reasoning, Congress Day, 68th anniversary. Give thanks for our President God and King Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards for bringing forth such light to the people and such Congress to bring our life to a better meant true time, my Lord and Majesty. Continuing reading. Myths and allegories. Myths and allegories are a valid part of sharing sacred and spiritual messages. as man seeks enlightenment and higher consciousness. Often these myths and allegories are taken too literally, missing the essence of what they are for. Myths are sacred narratives used to explain natural phenomena my lord, repeat. Myths are sacred narratives used to explain natural phenomena. In ancient times, the sages would clothe their stories in myths to present a more colorful and understanding of truth. In modern times, these ancient myths and allegories are often understood from an institutionalized perspective, lacking the sacred expressions our ancestors invoked. Today, in our presentation, we will seek to debunk the myths and clarify some of the allegories that are the foundation of our liberty. The intention is to simplify the messages in a manner more understandable to the modern generation. The value of these biblical narratives and oral history cannot be overexpressed, as they are the cornerstone of most modern belief systems. Let us now venture into the spiritual consciousness of our ancestors and endeavor to comprehend the messages they have left. The journey now begins. Lord and Empress.
Myths. A myth is a traditional, often sacred narrative that explains natural phenomena, cultural beliefs, or origins of the world, typically featuring supernatural beings or heroes. These enduring, authorless stories serve to structure a society's understanding of reality, morality, and identity rather than being mere falsehoods. Myths are not just stories. They are significant, enduring narratives that hold profound meaning for a culture. Myths are often gods, goddesses, demigods, and extraordinary creatures. They frequently explain the why behind the world, such as the creation of the universe, the change of the seasons, or the origin of human customs. Historically, myths were passed down through generations orally, often before being recorded, which is why they frequently have no single known author. While not scientifically accurate, myths are often considered true by the culture that tells them, conveying deeper psychological or moral truths. They're typically set in a remote, timeless past, separate from ordinary historical time. Myths are distinct from legends, which often have a basis of historical facts, and fairy tales, which are usually told for entertainment. To be continued. Honorable Empress Hakim.
Blessed love. In every culture, there are myths and allegories. Both are immensely important, used to convey a deeper message or truth, which in a natural sense might be misunderstood. The narrative can be based on facts or fiction to express a message. The story should not be taken as historical truth or literally, but instead try to understand the message within it. For example, a serpent tempted Eve. In this case, evil is depicted as a snake. This doesn't mean that snakes are evil. They are just a reptile, one of God's creations. The story is about the consequences of yielding to temptation. Another example is told in Matthew 14. the miraculous story of Christ feeding a multitude of people with 5 loaves and 2 fishes. The moral behind the feeding of the multitude is that Christ fed many people with a small amount of food. This is an allegory. Matthew 14, verses 22. Christ tells Peter to come, walk on the water. An allegory told to explain the power of having faith. King Emmanuel, the Black Christ, told his followers each year that next year ships will come to repatriate I home to Africa. A myth told to create hope and reinforce faith in our mission. The story of Haile Selassie I visiting King Emmanuel in 1970 at his camp, a myth told to create an allegory wherein the two spirits met and reinforced the objective of their mission, keeping hope alive. The biblical creation story and the great deluge in Noah's time are myths. The creation story is used to depict the origins of the world, human nature, and the presence of evil in the world. The story of the flood is told to portray the consequences of evil behavior and the mercy in time of trouble for those who are doers of good. There are myths and allegories that were taught to us having different messages, all geared at creating hope and reinforcing our faith during our difficult periods in our era of bondage. The inspired authors of the scriptures, such as Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and Jesus, the Christ, spoke in parables, which are colorful narratives that embody certain sacred messages. I must use our understanding as we study these biblical texts, as we interpret them from the golden altar. To be continued. Blessed.
Majesty bless.
I'm back right elevated. I'm back right elevated. I'm on the phone and now we're elevated now. You know, we must high in the world, most high. That's it. You know, we truly in the world, no other side. He's Almighty. The Creator is the storm, most I said the black Christ with salvation. He can't get salvation. Only the black Christ with salvation. He can't get salvation. Only the black Christ with salvation. He can't get salvation.
Honorable Prophet Barry, my Lord.
Greetings, royal family. Give thanks.
Majesty.
Give thanks for the celebration of the birth of the Congress, the EABIC, Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, through Divine Church of Divine Salvation, by Minister by our Lord God and King, the Right Honorable Charles Edwards, Manuel. Holy Manuel I Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari I. God is love, so let us all love. Love is the key. Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari I. My Lord and Majesty, Empress. It was not by chance that the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress was founded on 1st of March 1958. Making the anniversary of the Battle of Adwa, King Emmanuel chose the date to establish the memorial of the historic victory of Ethiopia over the great Roman Empire. The date was also chosen to invoke the indomitable spirits of those brave ancestors, such as Ras Makonnen of Arar and Ras Moligeta Yegazu, and commander in the Imperial Army, whom both played a valuable role in the defeat of Italy. These two historic events, the forming of the EABIC and the victory of Adwa, will forever be intertwined in the historical narrative of I Bobo Ashanti Shanti minds, as inspiration to future generations who will assume the mantle of the African liberation struggle, its development and preservation of liberty. I, the loyal members of the Congress, on the mission of the King, establish and standing call for unity among all members and among all Pan-Africans globally, as was declared by him. Unity is the only acceptable goal for our people of African descent. Up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. Africa for the Africans at home and abroad, and those abroad. One God for us all. Holy Most High, Jah, Rastafari, my Lord and Empress. To be continued.
And back to the chair.
Back to the
My
chair,
Lord.
my Lord.
Honorable. Give thanks to the powerful reading there, my Lord.
My Lord.
Yes, my Lord and Empress. So we give thanks for the founding member, founder leader, President God and King, the Black Christ. And we give thanks for the Congress will come and stand as a light, you know, for us, children of Israel, refugees, Ethiopian royal refugees down in these islands. You know? So with all the information, and we have some questions we did ask, like, you know, what is the Congress? Is it a church or what was made first, was the Congress or the church? You know, so I will kind of open up the floor now. I don't want to say whether I can answer all of the questions. I do have some answers, but we'll open up the floor and see if it have another angel who would like to address or say make a comment on this day, or you can give us salutation, you know, on the phone.
And since we're in celebratory mode also, not only, you know, questioning our development and our re-establishment, maybe we can have the Honorable Emperor leading.
Yes. Yes, Empress. So the floor is open, my Lord and Empress.
Honorable Empress Miriam.
Greetings, loved one.
The block of my.
All right.
We know you have something in that treasure trove to sing for us today.
Always have something to say about my Congress and giving God thanks.
I put my hand. I want to do that different.
Sister Trisha, is there a topic that, because I did went from a phone just now? Is there a set topic so we should speak on? Pardon me, forgive me for asking, but I was not at the phone for about a 5.
The floor open, we speaking about the You know, the mission, the Congress, the founding of the Congress, you know, the joy
Yes,
that
I
you
know
found
that.
when you
I
found
know
the
that. Yes,
Congress.
Grace. I get that. Thank you.
I
Thank
was
you.
also asking you if you had a chorus that you wanted to bring forward to the family.
Oh, yes. Yes, I always have a chorus. You want me to sing it now?
Yes, Mama, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. But before I sing, I'm giving God thanks for today. Today, it's a beautiful day. It is the 1st of March. When our father, the Right Honorable King Emmanuel, formed this glorious, beautiful Congress, for and I, his children, he formed the Congress, he opened wide the door, and bid us welcome. This is the only Congress that we don't have rent to pay, nor any bills. But what we have to do is to give thanks, to worship, to build ourselves within right and principles, unity and love. And that is what and I Father teach us. So I do give thanks to the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress through the Divine Church of Salvation. We say we stand governmental, parliamental, statical, churchical. Today, we are governmental, but the governmental need to come up, and we stand churchical. Churchical is still going on. We give thanks, but we need for us to stand more firmer within the government aspect. We cannot say we are a government. We can't take care of our people. That is not right. I give thanks to each and every one who are here today. I give thanks. 68 years we are. 68 years we are. Today, give thanks to the 1st of March. I have more to say, but I'll go into the chorus. I'm a new creation. I'm a brand new man. All things have passed away, and I am born again. More than a conqueror. Yes, that's who I am. I'm a new creation. I'm a brand new woman. I am a new creation. I'm a brand new man. All things have passed away, and I am born again. More than a conqueror, that's who I am. I'm a new creation. I am a brand new woman. One more time. I'm a new creation. I'm a new man. All things have passed away, and I am born again. More than a conqueror, that's who I am. I'm a new creation. I'm a brand new woman. And holy Mount Zion, 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 I art holy Mount Zion, Zion, Jehovah, Jah.
Rastafari.
Right, as we celebrate our 68 years of anniversary of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, through Divine Majesty King Selassie, Jah
Yeah.
Rastafari, my Lord and
Majesty
Empress.
bless. Yes, Empress, do give thanks, you know, and I can even look back in ourselves and see the moments that we were exposed to the Congress and our calling, because we say, you know, Rastaman is an outward concept, as an outward appearance of an inborn concept. So that is how the Father visited us in our different places of abode and all pointed us to the foundation, 10 miles Bull Bay. You know, I got exposed to it in 1980. You know, I was there at 1981. It was a great joy, you know, and expectations, which not diminished over the years, but just seeing now we have to manifest them, you know, and we see over the years it would have looked like nothing ain't go on, but big things go on still, because it's redefining our own self and seeing our the perspective that the Father really points us to it, which is a Black Africa, big Black Republic, you know, Black nation, Black Africa, Black Ethiopia, Black Ghana. So we give thanks to be a part of such a royal movements, you know, movements of Jah people. So with such, maybe that open up the floor for anyone have any, you know, take on it and what go on so far and on the exposure to the Congress and all good things. My Lord and Empress, bless.
Bless and love to one and all, to the chair.
My Lord.
Yeah. Your divine love, give thanks for this day, such a great time, such a good celebration of 68 years of hard work and determination, planning and organizing. And we have reached a junction here where we have to be more precise, accurate, less words, more silence, more action in everything we do. I give thanks for the reason from what I heard from the Right Honorable PRO, mighty speech, a lot of words, a lot of, you stamped it and you said it repeatedly. Certain things, you could make 3 speeches out of it. It was so great. Not a criticism, just letting you know how much you did in that one could have been break down in 3. Because it's so much information in one package, you know. Give thanks for that, my Lord. Priest Adigan, always the great historian, contributing. And everyone who contributed who I didn't hear, Empress Akim, I heard a little piece of your conversation and all contributions. I'll have to get the tape and get the recording because I'm always kind of a little too busy. But give thanks for this celebration that we are gathered here to do that which is right and to fulfill a lot of things that we didn't do, to close things, to close the gaps, to tighten things, to make sure we complete things. And even like after the meeting, conclude how the meeting was before even shutting down, to continue opening the minutes again and continue. We have to get tight with our consistency in our doings, in our saying. We are doing good. The school have been opened officially 68 years. Jerusalem School, where I school, as we are schooling today presently. And we are looking around at everything that was done, so much accomplishments, so much downfall. We had 13 years of like famine where we was droughted, and the elder council came together with all our efforts, with all the little small manpower we have and the woman power, and got together to organize to bring it and keep it something stable, like open platform that someone could reason and we could educate each other and learn from each other. Because people want a voice, a place where they could talk freely without prejudice, without discrimination. And could be respected, and we can learn and teach one and continue the legacy of Melchizedek order that we live and abide within. And with that said, it's just let us continue our work and continue our journey and be thankful for all the Lord has given us, that we could be, emperors and empresses, prince and princesses walking about to do our duty. Is so much to do. Let us just be strong and continue being, closing the gaps and bringing unity, which is a kind of foundation to the love and the peace that we have a lot to do, a lot of works to be done, my Lord and Empress. Continue strong, Honorable Chairman, Mighty Works, Honorable Secretary, Empress Trisha, General Secretary, IT, whatever, everyone who is doing what we are doing, all listeners, all listening ears, let us just celebrate and move forward this year, doing a lot more than we have to do. We have a lot of plans, a lot of things in paper. We need more action.
Yes,
My
we
Lord
do.
and Majesty, divine love to one and all.
Rastafari. And one of the things we see over the years, we have now accumulated a portion of land in the land. We have established a portion. But we see it's still our plight that we are going through, So these are some of the things we want to do, We give thanks for the reason going through our 10 miles Bulby and hope, the sense of unity is strong among them, where we can really find a common ground and put our tools and fuels together. One of the things we hear over the years is say, Jah always saying come to fulfill Marcus Garvey mission. And Marcus Garvey mission was more than just landing a man on a woman in Africa. He spoke about sustainability. Where is the black man industries? Where is the black man big man of years? So these are some of the things we want to see if we can really focus in on. Seeing that we have so much people in the land right now, we have to start trying to form some sort of a trade thing going on. Come on, because Garvey, the Black Star Liner wasn't just a passenger ship. It was also a cargo ship to say we carrying goods to and bringing goods from, So these are some of the, barriers that is in front of that we have to break, where we can finance our own projects, Because right now, our brethren, our dearly departed brethren is still on ice in Africa because of lack of funds. We see Empress Rachel put out a voice text today, I saw it, which she asking for 5,000 US. So we see our inadequacy of bringing in funds, one of the greatest hinder, one of the greatest heavy burden. So it's a challenge to get our heavens along these lines. The full circle, temporal and spiritual. The floor is open, my Lord and Emperor. And again, happy celebration to one another. That joyful day still, Yeah, cause many things are going on, cause the brethren them in the yard having reasoning, we having reasoning. So the Congress is alive and well, I guess we have to adhere to the high morality and principles what the Father set for us. Floor is open, my Lord and Empress. And we want to hear ones and ones thoughts, on a silent day, or silent night, We want festivity, as Empress Media always say. We want to feel the vibes. My Lord and Empress. Happy celebration, my Lord and Empress. The floor is open, my Lord and Empress. Bless you.
I guess I'll
Majesty.
speak. I
I
guess
hear
I'll
no one, I
speak.
hear no one, I hear no one.
Blessed.
I know priest, the floor is open.
Blessed love.
Honorable Empress Hakim.
Hi. I have so many thoughts in my mind right now because I'm sitting and I'm feeling one's, energy and hearing one's lift up, the Congress anniversary celebration, and me being a new one and learning so much from each of you every week. I don't have a lot to say on the past. I just come in as a new one, as a younger one, looking to the future, and again, I always talk about, myself as a young Rasta woman, not having much, I guess I would say, eldership guidance around me when I was learning Rastafari. So I depended on the spirit and I depended on the guidance of Jah to lead me. One of the questions that was lifted was about the Congress, and I guess the Congress and being political and spiritual. And I'm always drawn towards the scripture of that the government shall be on the shoulders of the Most High. When you think about the Abrahamic religion of Christianity from that perspective, it is always said that there's a separation between church and state, but really and truly it's not, because the church has a legal entity, being that it's nonprofit. But when you think about it in a spiritual sense, and I used to think this too as a youth, and thinking to myself, in the future, what does that look like? Just excited thinking about, the spiritual aspect of that. Like when will the government and the spiritual aspects come together and unify? How would that look on earth? How would that look when there is a true alignment? And when I think about Rastafari, I think about that. I think about that being what we are supposed to bring to reality. And so I also think about when we talk a lot about the division that is amongst I and I, which one say there's no division, but then I keep hearing that there is, we're not unifying. And again, with me having new awareness about these different entities, I know about the different houses of Rastafari, and I am one that says that I get in where I fit in. I don't consider myself just Bobo Shanti. I am a Rasta woman, and I embrace all the truth of Rastafari. Okay, I look at the RMO as being the right organization that everyone should embrace, as one who carries the title or the liberty of Rastafari. And I am trying to understand, why does the talk of division keep arising? What was the initial vision of King Emmanuel? The ones who have tried at this distance not quite get it. Have we derailed? That's what's been talked about before, and oftentimes in this, I keep saying this in my head too, and I don't want it to seem very dogmatic, but I know that in reasoning, everyone has their own opinion about things. But I truly, and I say this with all honesty, that when there is division within spirituality, I feel strongly that there is a presence of demonic energy, because when we're standing in truth, there's no division. And so we have to assess ourselves, assess the collective, and figure out where is the divide. And so I just wanted to just share how I feel about things. I'm grateful to be present. This is a dream come true, to be able to sit at the feet of the elders of Rastafari. Seriously, it makes me emotional. But what makes me sad is that, division is discussed at this stage in the game, I would say, of life, that we have to get over the things that separate us. I will also say this. Elder Maisie mentioned one time, and she's present, so she can clear it up if I'm saying it incorrectly. And I don't think King Emmanuel shared this in the vein of saying that Bobo Shanti should separate itself from everyone else and not come together. But I believe Empress Maisie had mentioned that that was something that wasn't taught. It was sort of in a way taught that there is a separateness, which also one say in faith that separateness to some extent is correct, especially if you are separating from things that are not righteous. But I want clarity on that. If that is the case, was that taught? You know, that one should separate themselves to some extent. If that is the case, let's reason about that to come to some clarity on it, you know. But I give thanks for being present 68 years of the Congress, and being present to learn and to hear and to sit at the feet of those who knew King Emmanuel and have tried it Rastafari for such a long time, you know. So I give thanks, you know, I give thanks. Blessed love.
To the
Majesty
chair.
bless. Yes, Honorable Empress Maisie.
I don't get what sis. Give thanks, Honorable Chair. Give thanks, Sister Kim.
Yes, Mama.
Where you say me said there? Oh.
So yes, we were discussing one time, you know, it keeps coming up about, you know, our unity and what keeps us divided. And one time you had mentioned that in the teaching, you know, when the father was here, that it was sort of taught, or not necessarily taught, but it was, I don't know how to put it exactly, but what I gathered from it is that in the teaching of Bobo Shanti, there was a sort of a stance that ones would take as Bobo Shanti as priests. I don't know if it was just because of the priest liberty that you're set aside. Let me use that word instead of using separatism, because when we talk about separatism, it seems as a negative thing. But even the scripture tells us that we should separate ourselves from certain things. But I wanted some clarity as to what does that look like? Being separate, was that what was taught in a way, is as a priestlyhood, you separate yourselves, or, you know, because if I'm, you know, understanding correctly, what you had spoken was that it was something that you did that was as a Bobo Shanti on the hill, you were separate from others.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, Empress.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Give thanks. I just wanted to make sure I understood you correctly. And
yeah.
so what did that mean exactly though?
Yeah, the only separation I know within the Baba Shanti which I live is to when our time come for us to separate from the Congress and be apart because our monthly issues on us. So we separated from the Congress. We into our own corners, into our own gates. So we don't mix with the congregation up until such time. Right? So that's the only separation I know that I would speak about it is when the principle of the monthly issue come, and then we have to be separated. We cannot mix at that time. The next separation, I would say though, John not separate us from one another. It's only if some, you know, some groups are not right, or they are not living some principles, they are involved in certain things that is not a part to it, then he would say, you know, take over yourselves from that. Because it's not right. We cannot get mixed down in certain things, right? But that's the what I said before. That's the only separation I could talk about freely. So I give thanks, Empress. If that's clear you give you understanding, Sister Kim?
Through the chair.
Hold on the pre-snappy. Hold on the pre-snappy. I need to get the clear from Sister Kim.
Saying yes.
Pardon?
Your mic, Empress.
I think maybe I can get a little clearance, and I think she'll
Yes,
look
you're
more
going to get
like.
more clearance, yeah.
I think I could get a little more clearance.
Yeah.
Me, you know, maybe set the tone away so she can have an idea of what is. Because when you and I come see the situation and live in it, she don't really know how it really fully set.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Empress Hakeem, you know, when the Congress farm, I was just 2 years old, so I never did really know much of that. What I do, you know, and I live like about 7 minutes, 7, 8 miles away from downtown Kingston. And as I said, I have my uncle who did in the Rastafari tried too, and other friends where they gather around. But I did remember clearly when they burned down, they'd go on, cause a lot of the Rastas them, the downtown Kingston Empress. And then when the Congress farm, them was downtown Kingston, but then them come and burn it down and bulldoze it down. And whole for the bridge in them have to go and find different refuge and go different places. So King Emmanuel went out by Bulby region, out by like about 10 miles away from the city up on the hill. And him and couple of him followers well went up that side. Some other ones got different side. And from there, so now it seemed like, you know, you have different fractions where the different areas, but the Bobo did live in a separate community per se than the other ones them. Other races did live in different zone, you know what I mean? And as I said, they may come together for Naya Bingi in a particular place, but the Bobo Shanty one was always, we stay up on top of the hill there and everything conducted from the hill there in a 10-mile bull bay. So that they kind of separate us per se from the rest of the races, you know. Basically, yeah, that's how they said, that's how the separation. But you know, more time I look on it and I say sometimes you look on it and say Rastafari is a tree. If a limb go over the other side and a limb go over the other side, a separation, sometimes depends on you want to look on things. Sometimes the tree just a grow, yeah, man. You know, that's why I see it more time, bridging. And if you have other rastas over that side, do the best you can do and uplift and do what you have to do over your ends. And I do over the ends and make the tree grow and hope that we are working in one accord per se. We're not for the under the same roof, you know, but we all are work have the same objectives. You know? That's how I see it. Yeah, give thanks, man.
Yes, Empress. Also, it have a narrative that would have sound like if Bobo no mix up with no one. You know, pre-Rastafari, that would have been a man nice to give you the history of that. But remember, say, China man had all them brethren used to come check him at certain times, you know, and them sit down and burn chalice and everything. So we see that it is a necessity to have black solidarity across the board. Even when we're listening to the book Nkrumah talk about conscientism, you know, we have to have black solidarity across the board. Even in the old constitution, and also in the upgraded constitution, we say anyone who's standing up for the right of Africa, you know, our brethren. So it's not this exclusive, like, you know, some of us have that kind of a mentality, but we see it now take us nowhere because it's in the same problem. So why attack it individually when we could be more collective? So that is the reason of our next day. But as I and I in the Council of Elders, we try to promote that black solidarity. That's how come the RMO we could have be a part of it. Because we see the need for uniting. Because we are facing the same common problems. You know, and the governmental structure like to use the excuse of our separatism to say, well, Bobo, how me know what being over? So if we can unite so that they eliminate that escapism question. You know, then we get some of our issues dealt with. We see with the repatriation and reparation, you know, we need to start set some committees. I hear the AU announce a next decade of the man and woman of African descent. And we also reason amongst we said that we want to even inspire some of the younger brethren around us to start form a committee where we are addressing these roles, these portfolios, you know, of reparation and international repatriation. So as much as sometimes
Chair,
quiet, bless.
when you finish your talk.
Yeah, as much as also sometimes Empress Akim, you might feel well like you're young, you know, come and you know when this thing was started so long. But remember 1950, not all that long, you know. And the item after visualize say the time that the item come in, it's not well like it have something etched in stone and all that to come learn and labor. It's actually Rastafari is in the baby stage. The item is coming in around the formation of Rastafari. As much as you see it have the setup and things are going, we see how much we documenting in this time. So the item is very important, you know, and that's how we speak of the calling of the king, how the king does call we mystically, you know, my Lord and Empress. And as we go along, it'll go blossom more when I show the item. Just how important the item is and what a significant time each and every one of I and I come in this thing here. My Lord and Empress, Empress Trisha, blessed love.
And then Priest
Okay, what's your
Adigan,
mind?
and then Priest Adigan, and then Priest Earl.
Bless,
I think
bless it, love.
1 second, Priest Adigan, because I think
I'll
you're
go
gonna
to it,
answer.
sorry.
You're gonna answer to what I'm going to make a statement to. I know you're gonna answer that. I think one's a misunderstanding the question that Empress Akim is asking. While it is great that there is a unity call and that the Council of Elders, you know, welcomes everyone with open arms, there is a narrative, that's the right word. There's a narrative that Bobo Shanti does not mix with other houses, be it 12, be it whatever it is. And we are constantly hearing about it. This is why whenever you speak, they often say, oh, there are brothers out there who mix in with other houses. That's a part of what she's saying. Or the Council of Elders signed on to the RMO. That's another thing that you were hearing. And that we're not supposed to be mixing with other houses. One, because our house is not even fixed, or we're in the process of reorganizing and fixing the house through unity. But I think this is what Empress Akim, if I'm hearing you properly, this is what you're saying. Not that we don't like unity or we don't want unity, but there is a narrative out there that Bobo is not supposed to mix with the other houses because of things that have happened in the past. My Lord and Empress, Priest Adigan.
And I have a priest.
And then Priest.
All right. You see, one of the dogma me see come in the order.
You can speak up a little, priest.
Blessed. One of the dogma me see come up in the order is like, most Bobo Shanti put the thing Rastafari stops at the EABIC. That's how some naivety is with the thing. But if we go back to grassroots, you know, King Emmanuel of himself did say, he make that certain rallies and gathering, him never want to go with certain brethren because after 58 was a peaceful, you know, and it was a Rastafari brethren's behavior that caused Dada to get that beaten. So before, after 58 was the time where really Dada really stopped congregate with other Rastafari brethren. So it coming like a through them once Dada move like that now, the prejudice bill. But when it comes to united with other Rastafari brethren at the EABIC, it's not the Congress per se is the problem. It's King Emmanuel Charles Edwards is their problem. Because as far as them concerned, Emperor Haile Selassie is the Black Christ. Emperor Haile Selassie is the life giver. He is the standard bearer in the title Rastafari. So no one but him. So to them, Bongo Eddie, as them call him, is just a faithful servant like themselves, but him a take God glory. Many so-called what people call Bingy brethren have made that's the sentiment to I remember when I just take up this order and I decided to go and visit my Ethiopian World Federation brethren. Instead of they welcome I into the HQ with open arms. It's be a fire burning I got. And these were brethren I was among for years. But just because I have a different outlook to Rastafari than them and I are ill, King Emmanuel charges as the Black Christ, them fire burn I. So you have a lot of brethren who have gone down that road in the Congress. So they don't want to unite with none of the other brethren them because even in those same organizations where they're calling for unity, you have conceited brethren will say them a unite with you and talk behind your back and them don't check for King Emmanuel. So I understand. I have no problem with the RMO, but I can understand why Edward Cott. Remember, one have to be careful that the RMO is not the Millennium Council in shadow. Because the Millennium Council did deal with a lot of misappropriation when them started. Right? Whether it be Sister Mixie or whoever them are talk about, who was supposed to be the chairpersons of such organizations. Yeah, so when I man look upon the RMO, they're not much different from the Millennium Council what this farm. And the Millennium Council likewise did approach the Congress to come to meetings, and the Congress always declined. So Dada I speak on it in times, and there's the times where some of the brethren them have come to the camp, Bonages and certain, and they were rude in their approach. 1978 was one of the gatherings where all different Rastafari brethren came up on the hill in Bull Bay there. And ones made promise that they would come back to Dada, and Dada wait, and even shed tears because the brethren them never come forward again. So I am for the unity of all Rastafari, because Rastafari didn't start out at Boba Ashanti, and King Emmanuel Charles Edwards did have grow into the man who we know him to be. He didn't just start out like that overnight. You see? But King Emmanuel Charles Edwards is what has built the prejudice against Boba Ashanti, because in the eyes of the public, we seem to give this man more glory than the emperor. And that's what I'm speaking in all sincerity. Oh, as a man who is universal and global and deal with all walks of life, all culture, spiritual, I'm not in the one box. I have Sikh brethren, I have Hindu brethren, Sadhu brethren, you understand, Muslims all over the world who me and them get on very good. And we are spiritual kinspersons. We just have a different outlook to how we see things. So, you know, I am King Emmanuel has been the one who has been the stumbling block for the other Rastafari brethren. They honor and love our liberty. Is our leader them no love. You understand? And I'm just talking it plain as it is, because I'm not just talking for just talk's sake. I'm talking from personal experience and watch over years our so-called Naya Binky brethren have fireburned that and say, he might take King Selassie our glory, a one God, a one Christ, and a Haile Selassie. So that really are the truth, right? Right? Why a lot of them are going to be the way they is, because they know that a lot of Rastafari brethren have deep prejudice against King Emmanuel. Even though them speak that them have respect for him, them still have them inhibited prejudice, my Lord and Empress. Bless it.
To the chair.
My Lord, bless it.
Answer
Honorable
that,
Priest.
Priest Earl.
Yeah, I'll come in.
Tito and then Mama
But
Miriam.
I tell you, before Priest will come
Yes.
in,
Yes, Royal Chair.
I need Selassie more than that, you know.
Right?
So
Precisely.
yeah, so why not?
Yes,
Praise
Royal
God.
family, one perfect love.
One
Um, what priest, the honorable priest just said a little while, I think she already even said that in the week, you see, because now for the time I and I go through an individual through sound that I and I say, we are put Netherman in front of Selassie. So Baba always going through humble. So it was King Emmanuel, you know, everything started from what the take place. You know, they broke up with the button and broke off statue and we know at the start, you know, right there, so you know that separation. But we see in the world re-educate people, you know what I mean? Because you know, most of the time you see it done different places in the world, you know what I mean? Yeah, we see it done in China, you know, and we see it done in Russia, you know, re-educating people. But remember, so we are the people who went through such atrocities of slavery. And some of the time when you see even the other brethren them gather to reason, many of the time it don't appear out proper. Right? That's why that 1978 reason they take place on the hill. You know what I mean? Because it's more than one time the brethren them amongst themselves they try to reason, you know. And most of the time Rastaman don't know to behave, you know, that will listen to one another, even if you don't agree. When you get your chance now, you know, you speak. So, you know, after the 78 reasoning, I just one thing just said to them, that's why they did not come back. If them they stand up with him, you know, who did not struggle. So they never have nothing to come forward even the other day. Although them they set the reason up for the other day and continue. So sometimes separation is good for re-education because you see say Baba put him shirt in him pants. You know, the other man don't do that. And for you to stop, you could tell a big man now, say, put your shirt in your pants, you know. So we just separate I and I, you know, to build the bubble now that him, you know, the admiration that we even get from the other brethren them. It is, you know, it is so beautiful then. You know, because them admire I and I so perfectly. You know, one of the brethren were being gained said he was at a meeting and Baba priest come. And what you notice about the Baba priest stop, take out everything out of him pocket and pray. So them watch I and glorify him said the Emmanuel heights, you know. You see, yes. So sometimes separation is not bad. It's only oh I and I gotta deal with it. There. Cause we get the chance now to, you know, through the man say his mercy, endure it. You see it? Yes. So, you know, it's always stretch out the hand, because we are going to stretch out the hand certain way because he guide us. That we're not to go there, why they were assigned to, you know. You know, part of the separation to what the Empress even touched, it was even turned down red. Baba don't go on the turn down red. And I come to the camp and hear these things. It's not to put these things at the younger man them foot, because some of the time, you know, because most of these individuals who do these things, they was not there from even 94, you know. But it's how I and I are going to deal with it today because, you know, if I and I know out of the 15 group of Rasta and we never go take nothing from them, and we still have to use that enduring mercy now. People reach out to our brethren, you know. Well, me understand I want we not to go out there, but some of the time you have to go because they tell me to go a Sunday daytime. And sometimes where you go, it could a Rasta man have the shelter and it's a turn down red and rain a fall. You're not going to go on and eat there? One perfect love.
My Lord.
Oh, good reasoning, priest. Give thanks.
Majesty blessed. You know, and even
Miriam,
our God and King fly the banner with the red below. Yeah. So we had to use rationality. That is why, if you remember the first readings, what we read today, man and woman, you know, is the elements of God in flesh in the earth. to do the will of God. So we had to be able to rationalize and see. It will be a greater strength for we to unite with the brethren. And then we have cultural diversity. So that no mean to say a man who no keep Sabbath, me and he can be brethren. Saturday him could I do what him a do. And we keep my Sabbath. And we can move from Sunday onwards. Yeah. And maybe just maybe in what him see from me could inspire him to say, Ruth, you know, I want vibe this up. I want to see what it's about. But that's how it is, you know, because the Almighty God is who giving him breath. We not getting a bigger chunk of breath or getting an extra spring. You know, we know what we know. They don't know, but we now make that a barrier from our black beloved brothers and sisters in the thought about a Muslim. So then we can't be a brethren with a Muslim, or we can't do a thing with a Muslim setting. I can see I do that already with a big Muslim brethren down here. And we do a some together when we had the Master Abraham Torah, you know. So we had to break them barriers. It's not a strength. And we can't fool ourselves with group superiority, because that's a thing amongst us. Like we better, so we say we are above, we better than. And man have that kind of a mentality, you know. And just saying, come for us, the comet, the soul head, the police, the soul there. You know, Rastafari, that chariot, my Lord and Empress. So we are, you know, we don't like it, you know, ones and ones comments and movements. I see
Empress Miriam.
the questions, but the
Yes,
Empress did put
Honorable
up.
Medayer, give thanks.
Bless.
So, in my father's house, there are many mansions, as Sister Trisha have read in her, what she read just now. And if it would not so, he would not told us. In my father's house. He never say in a Bobo Shanti house, you know, alone. And his mansion is only for Bobo Shanti. He said, in my father's house, there are many mansions for I and I, sons and daughters. You understand? So in this time, we can't get from why we are so adamant against one another. You know, we are flesh and blood. We are black brothers and sisters in Christ. And everybody have them own principle to maintain in their own houses. But that not say we cannot come together as family, you know, of Christ. Because to me, it's not no 2 and 3 God, you know, man. It's one God for the entire universe, you know. You understand? And it's him who made us all. So my problem is from a taller time from in our younger state. Why are we so adamant against each other? The flag causes a problem. The turn up read, the turn down read, it causes a problem, right? And everything. Why the horses them to, the sisters them, they struggled against the 21-day principle that we have lived. Oh, and they pack so much remarks about it. You understand? As well, I know that is one of the thing that they as against Baba Shanti. Yes, they do fight against Prince Emmanuel because some of the elders who have spoken to, they say Prince Emmanuel is no God. Him sitting in the seat of Selassie, etc., etc. So what Priest Adegan say, it is just true. It is not the Congress or they are fighting. They are fighting the leader of our Congress, which is Prince Emmanuel. In 2011, I have the opportunity when we put out this Million Woman March for the 1st of August, if you all can remember. So we invited everyone, all of the houses, then we invited to come to this march, because it's not march for Women's League or Baba Shanti alone. It is a march for the whole Rastafari fraternity, Black people and all, everybody. You understand? And it was good. You know what happened? The houses, them, because we had us to practice, we had us to reason, put things together. certain aspect and so on. And a couple of times they come and participate in the reasoning. They didn't make a flag be a problem. We tell them fall up on the flag left at the gatehouse. Nobody not shovel it. And they did what they was told. You understand? And we have a beautiful conversation. We reason how we're going to put things, how we're going to go about the march. And when the march come up in the day, the 1st of August, 2011, hey, everybody was out. The amount of people that we never have so much people before. Boba Shanti, all different houses, Naya Bingi, 12 tribe, Osa Dread, everyone was out there for this cause of freedom redemption, the 1st of August. So it's not that we cannot come together, but there are some such narrative, they are so big art. Oh, me now go to no other one house. They have to come to us. We are the number one. We are this, we are that. Yet still, what we are living now, we don't see where it really stand out as the number one. You understand? As when our father was there. And that's why I tell them say many times, now my little hero, Dada gone with his government. Dada is the government, and him is not here anymore. But still yet we give thanks for what he left, right? And the government is upon the elders them shoulder. You see it? Him leave it for I and I to carry on. But yet still some of us don't know how to run a government. You see? Because when they were at school, there wasn't learning of the teaching of King Emmanuel. You understand? They was just looking on Dada alone. Dada to do everything. If they had art them is Dada. If they forgot road is Dada. And everything is Dada. While Dada was teaching them, say, it's not him alone, it's all of us together. The God is within you. You are God and goddess. We are God and goddess. You understand? And we should learn. So that's why you see the Congress, it where it is today. You understand? Because we solely depending on the Father. The Father left us and we did not know what to do. As you hear some talk more time, like we were so no nonsense because everybody head was spinning and everybody started to fret and whatever. You see? So my lad, this is where we're at today. But what is the future? This is one of the topics we should ask, ourselves today. How we see the Congress going? What is the future for the future generation then for this Congress, this great Congress, that 68 years since it's in existence now. I come there when I was 23, now I'm 71, getting older into this Congress. What is the future for these younger generation? Young people are on this meeting here now. They want to know what is going to happen, elders. Yeah, we don't want to go back into the past so much. We want to talk about what is going to happen now. What is the future for these young people, their children? You understand? In the Boba Shanti faith right now. So let us talk about what are we going to do to uplift the Congress for this next generation, or even these young people, we are old, that is in the Congress. Yeah, give thanks. Blessed love.
Blessed love, Mama. Prophet
And yes,
Okita.
yes.
Through the chair, blessed love,
Aye,
blessed love. Give thanks, Honorable Royal Empress Maisie, for the sound. Give thanks for those such words are right,
My
Really
Lord.
give thanks. Blessed love. Yeah, man. I just wanted to just touch on a few things, pertaining to what the ones them have said so far, and also two questions that I saw posted up on the screen. First, yeah, of course, the Congress is for the poor and have-nots. We have seen that in how we have been catering to ones coming from outside and coming to the Congress
and how we have also been administering to ones out there as well, over the years, we have seen how the Congress have been very benevolent to persons who, come and seek refuge, to the Congress, from the Congress. So for sure, the Congress is for the poor and have-nots, and Dada teaches that as well, in his teachings as well, isn't it? And of course, as again, yes, the Congress, is to bring salvation, to present salvation to the public, to the masses, as we see in our churchical order, as our King Emmanuel has taught us how to rever His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, So, this is evident in how we have been taught and brought up. And as well, yeah, to provide representation for the spiritual order of Nyabingi. So, yeah, for sure, so I say yes across the board to those questions. Now, touching on the matter of the RMO and, its viability towards the unity of the Rastafari community. Yeah, I am fully in alignment with that. Persons who have previously been in organizations that were supposed to be doing such things like, the Millennium Council that they mentioned. Priest Adigan mentioned the Millennium Council, and persons like Sister Mitzi, who was, part of the executive of that organization. Just want to put a little clarity that at the moment, the persons who were at the helm of those other organizations prior to the RMO, they are not in the executive body of the RMO or executive goodie of the RMO. And the RMO now, has really been doing what it says in its constitution towards the upliftment of the Rastafari community. We have seen in the reports in the news, how the RMO has championed Rastafari ones and ones within the communities, regardless of what denomination of Rastafari, or not even say what house of Rastafari those ones were in or are in. The RMO has defended them, sending back children to schools, freeing ones from being locked up with ganja, getting persons to return forward to work because of their locks, getting persons to take back their exams, because they were barred just because of having locks and being Rastafari. So the RMO has been really championing the Rastafari community, advocating for them, for their rights, and still is doing so right now. Is leading a real large mission of recovery, relief for those Rastafari brethren and sisters in the disastered areas caused by Melissa. So we have to really look on the works of the organization, as it is proving itself to be a vehicle of unity and solidarity for the Rastafari community. Also, the organization is seeking to have such united efforts with Rastafari organizations outside of Jamaica as well. So, to fight that kind of mission is something that really puzzles me. You know what I mean? And I give thanks that even, the priest Adigan, supports the fact that such an organization is, working towards such unity and such development of the Rastafari community. He mentioned that, there needs to be certain caution because of previous organizations misappropriating, their intentions, yeah, we understand that, because normally, naturally, you see a new organization come up, you're going to say, boy, John was starting, so then they tried this already, but please, I'm just beckoning to persons, just look at what the RMO is doing, try to, be involved in the functions that they keep so you can learn about what they're doing. You can see who is at the helm, who is at the steering of this organization, and you yourself can make it your opinions on those ones and ones. You know what I mean? And I tell you, it's an organization that you can make a request to come to one of the meetings, and they will be willing to have you come in and sit in as an observer, so you can get a clear understanding of what the organization is doing and see that it's not something that's a funny business. You know what I mean? It's not a funny business. Something that really is working towards Rastafari development. So that's on the RMO. Now, as it relates to this whole, segregation between Rastafari houses and organizations, it's something that I don't really understand why brethren and sisters are still holding on to a segregation mentality in this time. In this time, we should be all seeking to really unite. You know what I mean? Regardless of how we praise His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, we all praising His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First. So, we really should seek to, respect that, respect ourselves, and not be, adamant to say, oh, because me can't drink a beer over there, so me not go bother go over there, so, or because over there so I have a turn down red, me not go bother go over there, so. Because when you go to the court, you have to follow the protocols of the court. When you go to an embassy, you have to follow the protocols of the embassy, and you're not going to tell yourself, say, oh, me not go to a U.S. embassy because me not go put my shirt in my pants, or me not go want to do certain things. You want to go U.S., so you have to go to the embassy and you have to follow the protocols. You know what I mean? You're not going to segregate yourself from that unless you want to just stay at Jamaica, and that is it, and you can't even left to go to Africa. You see me? So, and when you go into the court, you have to put your shirt in the pants as well, the same way. You see what I say? You have to attire properly. So if you give respect to those entities, why you can't give respect to your Rastafari brethren and sisters protocols? Why you can't give respect to your Rastafari brethren and sisters protocols, but you want to give respect to Babylon protocols? So I'm fire burn the segregation again right there. So, all right. Now, another thing why me I go fire burn the segregation mentality is because in 1978, as Chris Adigan did say, they had a meeting. Well, don't know so many did about them time. But they had a meeting with all of the Rastafari ones them, and King Emmanuel wanted the ones them to come forward again. Why? Because he want unity, my lords and empresses. The God want unity. The God even cry when them not come forward. So why is it we still in ourselves? I say we not for unite with the house there. We not for unite with the organization there. Why? Cultural diversity is a natural thing. Just as how in the animal kingdom, all of the animals them live in a one forest. You understand? You see me? His Majesty was even the main host of the crown of the Emperor
We have
of
a time
Persia.
limit here, Honorable Prophet. We have a time limit. Don't make it too long, please.
Blessed love, my Lord. His Imperial Majesty even attended coronation of Persian emperor, and even was the main host. He was accompanied by the wife of that emperor. So His Imperial Majesty, as the emperor of emperors, could have did say, yo, what a little boy there try. Nah, go over there, so. But the man
I don't cut your Honorable Prophet Keto.
Blessed
And
love,
take
my
this
Lord.
into mind as well. The emperor went to Kennedy's funeral.
You understand? You see me? So we have to look into ourselves, my lords and empresses, and cut out this whole heap of segregation mentality, thinking. It don't make sense. You understand? We are supposed to come together, learn from each other. That's the greatest learning. You understand? Learning how your brother and sister operate so that you can be able to deal with them in an upful way. One love, one perfect love, blessed love.
My lad. Give thanks for the voice of the young man, my lad. A lot of sense in what you're saying, my lad.
Blessed love.
Our black brothers and sisters, we can't let ideology be a wall. If it's anything, it should be a bridge. Yes. Give thanks, my lord. Rastafari.
Love, honorable, blessed love.
My lad. Yeah, the floor is open.
But honorable, no, go ahead, 3-7. Go ahead.
Give thanks. Yes, my Lord and Empress. Yeah, so we give thanks for this topic where we reached to here now, I want to relate it to the reading which I read earlier, King Emmanuel come with his divine teaching of the red up You look at the covenant in the sky, the rainbow in the sky, the red up. The man show you about Menelik time, the red up. You know, the significance of the red up, right? But church members now, we come with doctrine to the extreme, as preachers say, if rain fall and you wouldn't go underneath a tent, what have the green, yellow, and red. You see it? So sometimes this is what has happened now. From I started teaching, doctrines come forth. You see it? And some doctrines get taken to the extreme. You see it? We get carried away with that sometimes. You see it? But I mean, it's common sense we have to use. You go in a courthouse, you go in police station and all of these government buildings, you would see the flag of the country where you're there. You see it? And what you're going to say? You wouldn't go in there because of that flag. No, we go in there to do what we have to do. You see it? And it's not no gins or no jinx because of cloth, a colored cloth above your head. You see it? You see it? So this is the understanding we have to use. We can't, because of stigma, you know, and past statistics of what certain ones say. It doesn't mean that all say. Some say, not all say. You see it? Because like me now, I live walking distance from the EABIC theocracy down here in Trinidad, you know. You see it? And when I ready, I go up there, I eat food, full joy myself and reason with my brethren, them normal. You see it? You see it, same way when the brethren them passing on the road, them come by me and stop and get a calabash of water. I go from a calabash of water and get them. And them come under my banner same way, because everything is red, gold, and green by me, curtain, banner, everything. You see it? And we don't watch that no way. It might have, like I said, might have some who watch it away, but it's not all. So we couldn't let that set of ones who have that mentality say, well, it's so the whole thing stays. It's not everyone think like that. You see it? So we're reaching a time where we could make a change now and we could change certain narrative and certain false doctrine and certain stigma, you know? And this is a greater unity, you know, the unity of Rastafari in general, you see it, other than just mansions separated, you know? You see it? So, and even when you think about it, like I have my relatives, I remember back in the day, my relatives would tell me, say, I am following back in the day, they say, I'm following an old man in Jamaica who calling himself Christ. You see it? But I love my relatives dearly today and always did. You see it? I don't deal with them no different way because of their opinion. You can't make nobody swallow a pill, no, my Lord and Empress. You see it? Everyone have a freedom of opinion and a freedom of expression. You see it? But we cannot really, we cannot fight with one another just for our thoughts and opinions and expression. We're free. We have to be free and let people be free. Be free and let the next one be free same way. You see it? Yes, my Lord, I know the item get my point, you know? Continue to read. Bless you.
My Lord and Empress.
And
And
my
the
Lord,
next thing,
wow.
one moment, a brief moment. Understanding, praise God, you know. In 1966, when the king come Jamaica, remember all the Rasta man them had the red up for the banner, you know. That was just a natural red, gold, and green. When Jack come and when Emperor Selassie I touched down, and the man them see the banner on the plane, and that is where the switch went on. The man decided to fly the same banner where the king was flying, and that has stayed with the red up. And man has made it a big problem when it's not really no problem. Because it's the king who fly that flag there with the red below. So then how me can look at the king away. The king we say the three and one, the 1 and 3. The 3 that never disagree. Who will earth, sky and sea. Yes it. So man and man make that a problem which it's not. So these trivial things really it ain't carrying us nowhere, but just feeding division. And this is what we come to even say debunk some of the myths and let's free our heart and soul that we can really develop and hold on to the Black Christ teachment, in its full essence. As me say earlier on, Empress Maisie say, what are we showing the youths them? And me say, one of the things we say over the while is that Jah come to fulfill Marcus Garvey vision, and Marcus Garvey had a vision of trade also, not just carrying man Africa. Because we see even now, brethren touching down in Africa, and they don't have no plan, they don't have no sense of sustainability. So they reach Africa, and now they must send out message to I to strengthen this and send our money. And these are this, Honorable Prisoner Pete talk about it too. We have to look to get a sense of sustainability, some sense of a consistent income that can just build. I just see have to be some sort of a trade. And so these are some of the things we want to even get into where we can, the youth, the young man, them around we with the energy can tap into these things too and expand. My Lord and Empress. Like we ask the question, are the skill set needed to function both institutions the same? No. Because you'll find it might have a man verse in the theoretical, but him not too versed in the governmental. So we all after, you can't pick a man with a left foot and put him on the right side. You have to put him on the left. So we have to put appropriate people in the appropriate places where we can get the more, and not like friend and company and because this man, that say, yeah, this man's supposed to be a parliament and really not bringing no skill set. So we gotta be real, my Lord and Empress. It's a nation we are built. And every man might do the same, but every make will make a mockery. So give thanks on the other questions. Can a parliament be established without a constitution? And can we see no? That a constitution needs first before you get a parliament. And is the parliament a sacred document or a set of guidelines? It is a set of guidelines. It is not a sacred document. Look at the history of the word constitution. It was used before we had ours. You and I have a constitution. So as I said, I don't want to take up too much lengthy speaking, but give thanks. Floor is open, my Lord and Empress. Bless you.
Royal Chair. Royal Chair.
Go ahead, Priest Earl.
Yes, Honorable Priest.
Yes. The 25th of May is going to make 1 year, right? Since I went down to Malvern. I never went to a bingy before, cause, it's your I and I rest. And I'm not going to blame the man who rests the way or him rest, because it's a culture that he came to the camp and here. Right? It's not everyone can come out of that box because, yes, we don't want to seem like we are fighting against the Father when we attack like how we attack. So we are here to solve the problems, not here to quarrel amongst one another. This is a beautiful moment where we supposed to even take the opportunity to speak about the accomplishment of our Father, what he did accomplish, right? You are the first individual to even write different letters to all heads of government, including the Queen. The first man name to go on the United Nations Rasta as a Rasta man who them have to ask his permission, to put his name there. So the 25th of May, I leave here and go to Malvern. And I try the unity with the other houses, and I fling I and I out because it caused a big war. So sometimes it's not the bubble, like what man that say. It is the bubble. The bubble do try, right? Even when I and I went down House of Seba, you know what I mean? Yeah, we go down there humble, bubble no make no trouble. Sometimes when we go down there, it's war, them a war amongst themselves. As I and I reach, everyone a turn bubble. So bubble really a try, but remember say bubble come in our culture. You understand where we can't blame we for the culture where we come in at. You have to face that. And I amongst yourself right now trying. So even if I even say to educate I and I, we have to separate because Bubba play music different from the Naya being it on a different beat. And if we never have that separation, we would have the set beat like we they have, right? Bubba have a little different, even how we sing, how we chant also. Yes, what I mean, I say. So we have a little unique thing amongst ourselves where they realize also. You see, so when we say separation is good, me and God at about for the re-education, because we can't really separate from our people. It's one set of people that came down here. And you see how the thing start, and never start this thing ain't no separation. I will happen upon the road, make the separation go on. All of these brethren was his brethren. You see it? So even when he come up at the camp, remember when that Bonnie G did came up the camp, I was there, And I find out, say, we say we name priest. And sometimes when a man stand up and say something, I could have tell him, say, I tell lie, but I leave it alone. Right? Sometimes I can tell a man, say, I tell lie. I was there when them out of the camp 2 times. And the priest got up a jar and come back with the word. It's not the priest, he just stand up there and I give the word, He leave, went up at the palace, come back down and speak the word they just speak. Just say, the man them for roll up the banner and come in. But sometimes a man just say, no, this priest speak, so come here, man, speak this way. And sometimes we stop the them thing there because we are not seeing our one another as Emmanuel. You see what I say? And we have to try to respect the man them who lay down the work. You understand? I make it go on now. I'm a find so sometimes when I and I speak, you have some man rail up and no priest. You see, don't do that. Amongst it, don't rail up and get vexed. Even if I as a separation was good for the re-education of I and I as Bobo Shanti. You understand? Because enough Rastaman right now in Coast bad don't speak anything. Bobo don't speak this way. Yeah, some Bobo speak guile too. You see, some of the priests them speak guile. You understand? Even in front of I, one perfect love.
Majesty, my Lord, give thanks for the word. Acts of our right. Floor is open, my Lord.
Yeah, my Lord and Empress. And
My
even
Lord.
when we are talking about the flag, see, Abyssinia is the first state that was under red, gold, and green. His political regime bring it to green, gold, and red. So even when I want to say His Majesty did use that flag, the green, gold, and red, and most Rasta turn to green, gold, red, or green, yellow, and red because of His Majesty coming to Jamaica with it. It was through political regime because His Majesty even in his autobiography refers to the flag as red, gold, and green. So before 1896, Battle of the Ethiopia was under red up. Was after 1896, Ethiopia come to green, gold, red. And even when so saying, Menelik, as someone mentioned, I think it's pre-7, Menelik's government ruled under red, gold, and green, and in the middle of the gold was M for Menelik, his initials, M. So Menelik, now which many have put King Emmanuel in his stead, ruled with the red up. Ethiopia, all the countries, even before Ghana, ruled with the red up. But they had the color set on like triangle sideways pennants, and the lion would have been mounted on a busk. That was the difference, but the colors were red, gold, and green, and that is Abyssinia I'm referring to. Before Mali, before Ghana, before probably, you know, all these places were have the colors also. So we are understanding, you know, Abyssinia did set the red, gold, and green, you know, and yes, the rainbow covenant, but the reflection of the rainbow covenant is green, gold, red, funny enough. You understand? So the reflection of the rainbow is green, gold, red, but the top of the rainbow is red, gold, and green. So it's our understanding, you know. From I grow and I reached that milestone in a life, 60, right? And I man see many events from the Cold War in America, all of these things, Watergate crash, Nixon government, Clinton government, Gerald Ford government, Carter government, Margaret Thatcher government, Harold Wilson government, Edward Heath government, Enoch Powell government, if you have taught UK. I man have gone through all of them. Remember, 10, 6 is 60. 6, 10 is 60, sorry. And you see it? And 10 is a decade, and I man have seen 6 of them. And I man can speak of some history, and me know this one older than I can speak of history before I and after I. So, you know, the history of today, the events of today become the history of tomorrow. Love is the cohesive force that binds us all, you know. So, you know, God is love, so let us all love. Most High, and Pride Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So give thanks for your understanding, you know. Because like the man saying, all you're getting, get understanding. There's wisdom, but there's knowledge. But in all you're getting, get understanding. And the greatest understanding is to know that God is love, you know. So let us all love. Let's not speak the love, but do the love, you know. Try your love. Yes, my Lord and Empress. Blessed.
My Lord, give thanks, honorable praise. Yeah, we had to see what it is what elements we need to really put the energy on to make us progress. You know, isolating myself, we have enough time amongst myself to build myself. Because you're not going to live with our next man, you know, or in our next group, you know. So that means to say there'll be some partial moments you might have to attend a reason, you know, to do something like that. So we have enough time where we can really, you know, strengthen ourselves within the culture and really see it for what it really is. Over the years, we don't seem to really get exactly what it is, you know. So we all up here for learning, you know. None of us know it at all.
True.
But you know, that is one of the key things going on. How we sustain ourselves when we reach over here. Even while we are here, got to find an industrialized way of doing things. It's the only can, you know. Yeah, we have to find an industrialized way. My Lord and Empress. Even the brethren on the hill, that idea, the man could put to them to say, I industrialize the broom. I mean to say you could have 1,000 brooms. You put that on internet. That is a showcase for the whole world. You have a storefront for the whole world. You know, where you start to get orders. Some sort of ideas where we have to try start build on, where it's a communal, community funds consistently. You know, that's I figure is our greatest challenge.
Blessed.
My Lord and Empress.
Blessed love, my Lord, to the chair.
Yes, Honorable Empress.
You know, give thanks again for this celebration moment, 68 years of this Congress. Give thanks for all who see that the mission of freedom, redemption, and repatriation is a must. Give thanks for all entities within this Congress who even in their own spaces are trying to unite.
Night on the beach.
Right.
Huh?
And without even pointing fingers at any entity or go looking backward when, yes, we're supposed to know where we went wrong. We're supposed to identify it so that we don't make the same mistakes again. But moving forward, just like Mama Miriam spoke about earlier, for the generations to come, for those little young prince and princesses that belong to our beloved empresses and our kings and priests and prophets, you know, what are we leaving for them? What legacy is the Congress leaving for them in righteousness, in uprightness, in making certain that they become the best of who they can be? So even on this Congress Day, you know, thinking about the possibilities of building and bringing the Congress and its members together. Sometimes we see things as the hardest things to do because we allow ego or we allow feelings and emotions to become involved. And sometimes we have to take away those entities in order to do what is right. And doing what is right means that we are working toward the betterment and the upliftment of the Congress so that we can unite with other houses, so that we can unite with members of the diaspora, we can unite with Africa itself. And we can be able to build economics, because we're going to always suffer with economics if we don't get our houses together because of the mistrust issues that we are dealing with. And like the priest said earlier, you can't put the left man in the right position if he's not going to work toward that. We know that the churchical and the sabbatical is intact per se within this Congress. We know that. We know that where we need to work is on the governmental, statical, parliamental point of this Congress. So how do we do that? That is what we need to identify. How do we do that? One of the things that I would say is, one, yes, unity needs to be forged, but each one of I need to look within ourselves and identify what we can do and what we can bring forward. And when our brothers and sisters come to us, that we don't shun them, shy them, make them feel ill or disrespect them in any way, because we're working for the betterment of the Congress. You know, maybe Priest Ainsley likes orange juice and I like apple juice, so what have you. Doesn't mean that we can't work together. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just another me. We have to identify specifically some of the questions, you know, that I read earlier. They sounded kind of harsh, even to myself when I was reading them, because that wasn't my part to read. But it is the reality of what is. It is the only way that we can get to and get past and get above in order to move forward. We have to learn to make hard choices. I may not agree with a choice, but the masses, it would be for the betterment of the Congress, for not only the elders, not only for the junior members of this council, not only for the younger priests and empresses, but for the youths, the prince and princesses that are coming forward. So we have to learn to make those choices and make those decisions and sticking to those decisions and making certain that they come true. So I know on one of the things it spoke about a manifesto, and maybe that needs to be put together. We have the Constitution. Some are saying you can't touch a Constitution XYZ, but we know our Constitution is an ever-living document. It ever grows. His Imperial Majesty taught us that. He taught us the importance of that. So therefore, ones need to look at what was done with the upgrade of the Constitution in a different light. In the light of, okay, does this make sense? One, is it going to be for the betterment and the future of the Congress and the Congress's members? Instead of just knocking everything down because a certain person, a certain group of people did XYZ. I'm sorry. Making changes is always difficult. And it seems like certain words in this Congress is always taboo. But guess what? It is just life. It is life and it is what it is. Do we want 1 year from today, on the 69th anniversary, to be having this same conversation? Do we want 5 years to be trying to figure it out? Do we want 10 or 30 more years as to what is happening? Because by then, some of the elders, even some of I may not be around. So what is it that we are leaving? I feel personally that the younger priests and prophets of the Melchizedek order needs to begin. Please mute your mic. I think that the younger priests and prophets of this Melchizedek order, along with the Women Freedom Liberation League, needs to come forward and do what needs to be done. They need to sit at these tables. You can't sit at one table and hear one thing and there are 3 other tables. You have to be, and if the door is open wide to come in to reason, come on in and let's reason, because then we have a set living over here and they're living their life and they're doing their own thing and whatever happens, happens. And then we have another set who have empresses, who have children, and they're trying to figure out, okay, what do I do for the betterment of my children? Do I just teach them the churchical and the sabbatical, or do I allow my children? Is the government ready to say that if I want my child to be an engineer, so that when we move to Africa, that they can build the roads, that they can build the houses? Do I want my child to be a doctor so that they can be taking care of the Africans on the continent and even I when we get there? What is it that I want to do? So there's tit for tat and playing and stuff that is going on. We need to be serious about what we're doing. We were in a meeting today, and prayerfully that headquarters is having, and prayerfully that unity does what it says that they're going to do. And prayerfully they begin to understand that they need to invite some of the elders and hear with clarity what the elders, because they're saying that HQ is it. Okay, if HQ is it, then they need to invite the elders and allow them the opportunity to say what they have to say, even if they don't 100% agree, because in the end, it might be the right decision. In the end, one part might be right, the other part, and you bring it together and you get a hold and you get boom. So, just moving forward in the spirit of unity, moving forward on this Congress Day, moving forward on all the good things, that Rastafari has built for I and I really need to take this serious, because what is happening is that you're running the entire, I'm not just saying this to the Council of Elders, I'm saying it to all fractions. You are running the young empresses, the prince and princesses, from becoming who they can be and helping this Congress move forward and helping the African family itself move forward. My Lord and Empress, blessed.
Blessed love, Empress. Couple things. Prophet Okito, him still here?
Yes, he is.
Prophet Okito, my lord, I heard you made a statement, and I will take it up on the eye. If the eye could organize a meeting with the executive board and the RMO to our executive board. We have been trying for a very long time. We are a part of it, and we are on our a signatory one. So you did say that anyone want to come in, they're welcome, and we've been trying to initiate that. So if you could line that up for us, let us know, and certainly will appreciate that. Honorable Empress Trisha, you say a
Okay,
thing, and
I will make note and first you to have that invitation put forward.
Honorable Trisha, here why it's so important for me to debunk the myths, because our children coming up and a lot of them is much more educated than us, and they
Correct.
wouldn't settle. That's why I say they're running away. They wouldn't settle for certain things, so we have to get the whole liturgy and the whole thing in order. That manifesto is a good meditation, you know. So we can only do what we can do, but we have to just keep on doing it and forge that with the fews and twos what Jah give we amongst ourselves. And always have a stretched out arm still, but approach the situation from a realistic point of view and a factual point of view. So when we hand it off to the young generation, they ain't saying things that in their own self. You understand? One of the things, a simple thing that incorporate in the literature, Africa is not 11,000 miles above sea level. You don't measure vertical in miles. You measure vertical in feet or and it's 400 or something centimeter above sea level. We have to get that down, them figures down, so that when we gain a clearance on the altar, we giving a factual clearance. You understand? That is one little simple thing we have to put, we have to straighten it out and get it right. You know that way there, so Majesty bless. My Lord and Empress, the floor is open.
Yes, Honorable Priest to the chair. If anyone not
Yes,
before.
Honorable Empress.
Yeah, yes, Honorable Chair, give thanks again for this reasoning going through, man, glorify each and every one who have spoken, and those who are not, we give thanks to you. We are love to hear you. But anyhow, Honorable Priest, as it in my meditation, about the culture, as you mentioned, the sea level, because enough time I tell people, we, we're above what we do under sea levels, 11,000 miles, never know so not number goes up. And this is one thing I'm saying here too. We have to know what we are telling these young people now, because they're not going to take it like us, Because me have some grandchildren here. You can't tell them foolishness, because they're going to question you out. They're going to question you out till you're tired. So you have to, come good, especially, for instance, the Mother White Bridge and Christ crucified and thing. We have to if we tell them anything about that, we have to give them reason, that them can understand. Enough things that I have learned. We come to this time, my old age, say, it never go so. You understand? Or if it do go like it them not say it properly, them not give us the culture properly. You understand? So we as the elders and even the junior elders and so we have to meditate now to correct, right? The culture that we have got. Are you seeing in your mind that, that could have never go so when you hear it? No, man, you have to correct it. And you have to know what you are saying out there. Remember, you have to, we can't just come up and say, because Earl tell me so, or Priest Samson tell me so. You have to have the facts and the truth. You see, you have to have a document to say, yes, this is what, see it here, it is written here, the year, the day, the time, the month, etc., etc. You understand? Because everything is in computer and everything is history. And if we tell them something, them are go say make them go research it. And if they can't come up with it, them coming back to us, the elders, and they will make us be like a fool. And we do not know what we are saying. You understand, family? My young
Natural.
who on this platform here, and my elders, you have to know what you're telling the children. Make sure so you are correct and you have it documented and it's the truth. If you tell them about the prophecy, look for the verse, the chapter, the number, which part you find it. Because they must say which part in the Bible you find that grammar. Come back and go look for it. And then they go tell me, say, boy, a priest early tell me say it in this. No. You understand? So we have to have the facts straight because them you remember what them say? What was eaten from the what?
Wise and prudent.
Eh? Whatever is now revealed to the picnic them, I be able to suckling, but I said to the children them. Yes, it's not revealing. So we have to be on top of things, honorable family, honorable elders of the Congress. We have to be on top of things to get the correct reasoning culture that we are giving this generation, these children now, which is the man and woman and for tomorrow. You understand? We have to get it clear. You see, my Lord, so this is the liquor part. I just want to say this. Give thanks.
Correct, Mama Maisie, correct. Right down to education and making
Yes.
certain that we have schools for our youths. We have a lot of princess, I pray it to the chair. We have a lot of empresses homeschooling their children, and we don't have a network with these empresses, and there needs to be some type of networking going on. It needs a network where if we have 10 sisters in Trinidad and we have some in Bahamas and we have some in the BI and we have a few in the US or in the UK or wherever, that they are networking to homeschool their children, whether it's 4 days a week, for an hour, 2 hours, or what have you, but it needs to be figured out, but someone has to start it. Milo.
Majesty bless.
Yes, royalty are going to ask your pardon here, you know, so the order and still going up is not just like I'm here and meditating the service, so I'm going to ask a little pardon here, my Lord and Empress.
You're Priscilla, you're Pacam.
For the moment.
No, I am going up.
Oh, you're going up.
I am going up, so yeah,
Okay.
I just ask a little pardon here.
My Lord.
Yes, guys. Out of love. Yes, my Lord and Empress.
My Lord.
Give thanks for the honorable priest spending the moments with us. Yeah, so these things we came up with a whole portion of things where we say we had to kind of debunk. Priest Sevens, give me one of them what we talk about.
I can't pinpoint one in my mind right now. There's so much we talk about. But look at this, right?
Yeah, my lad.
They come with some teaching. Freedom, Redemption, International Repatriation, Africa for the African youth. That's the man teaching, you know?
Yes, I.
Someone might say, so when we go in Africa, we should drop off with Chinese brethren them there and Indian brethren them there before we reach. These things is doctrine, but I know what John teach me to separate his congregation. Okay? So that's just an example of how things have come about. You know, doctrine has come about from different way I want to see things, different perception. I want to see things to be. You know, but we have to know how things really be. Sometimes my man might tell us, said, I walk through a wall in King's house. You understand? It's all kind of thing. So. That's it.
Yeah, my lad. Because one of the realities we see, enough our brethren reaching over in Africa, and it ain't like they have this. Few of them really have what to put it over, a good value of living. Enough man just a sit, you know, not really going on too tough, you know. So we had to try and like we look into the heights of things in Africa. Food is a key. So you have to concentrate on so you have to have food. You know, food sovereignty. You know, but then in the other thing, it must have some sort of a thing we can look to market some kind of goods. You know, like you have to have a think tank and come up with some kind of meditation, like where we can really market. You know that way then? And the key we know say the American dollar strong, European dollar strong. So if we can find a trade where we go down in them places with man who on the ground, them kind of monopoly we have to try figure out. You know, it's big in a way, you know, economists. But these are some of the things we really have to try figure out. You know, my lad and Empress.
Through the chair. And,
Yes,
and I would say there was a time when it was just Jamaica, the Bahamas, Trinidad, some in St. Croix. I said there was a time when Bobo was there in Jamaica, St. Croix, and Bahamas, in the 90s in Miami. Now we have Antigua, Chile, you know, all over the world. Right?
All
so
over the world.
we ourselves supposed to be the greatest resource, you know.
My lad, all over the world.
The strength in numbers. So by the strength in numbers, we pull the resources together. When we do
that, and kind of hustle, the pong pavement hustle, the pong in the pavement. How long you gonna do that for? You know that way there, we have to think bigger. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. We started selling nuts in 1981 in Trinidad. And we still selling nuts on the highway. We ain't start supply the groceries, and you have your sales representative drive out there and try them and let them see how it thing, and you could make deals and you get an incentive when you make a deal, but you're still getting your salary. We have to come up with them kind of system, my lad. You know, say it.
Really? Here, Fred.
My
when you're
lad.
done, please. When you finish, please. Finish your thought.
Go ahead now, please, Naps. Go ahead.
Yes, I just say, you know, upon the same page and the same line, you know, we have to have some kind of cooperation, economic cooperation, you know. And first have to start build where we are. I also in Miami, you know, for the last at least 10 years now. Also, we have had our bank account and put in the funds and put in everything, and I do all everything through it and a function officially. I would have said the same thing to all of the other brethren them, wherever spaces that you are. Set yourself, say you're straight differently. And and from there, so now hopefully we can start the things, you know, business-wise to one another. You know, but if you have a way where it, you know, it's just not transparent at all, you know what I mean? So I think first, each and every space have to set themselves official, you know. And anywhere you go, you have to go there, investigate the place. You have to know the ins and outs about it. There's a saying, say you have to know before you go.
I think I did the biggest thing in any project, the research.
You have to know. So you have to do all your research and then you know, because sometimes some simple little thing that you overlook can be a downfall. So just be wise. That's all it is. That's proper preparation, you know? Yeah. More to say, my lad, but that's it. Anna.
My love. Yes, I give thanks. So, yeah, any little ideas we come about, you know, it's a big challenge, eh? Because we see how the global system working now. It even like 20 years ago, you know. So we had to be skillful, you know. That's why we want the children to go to school to be economics and accountants, you know, civil engineers and these kind of things. That is not Babylon, you know. So these are some of the challenges what in front of us. That's why I say, even when I'm talking to empresses like Empress Akim and younger empresses and younger prophets coming up, is that don't figure you come into this established thing and all you have to do now is learn. You actually come when it's in its formation stage. So your ideas also is very important. You understand? And Empress Trisha, one thing I did say, you did say like how they say we have done the churchical. I don't even think we have done the churchical like that neither. We not holding down nothing, you know. Everything is just like some little version. I can't tell you the last time 7 priests read 7 Psalms in Trinidad. Up to yesterday they didn't even have service there.
And
So
it's not no.
we really
It's
come kind of nothing, you know. But at least I don't know Jamaica. Because them seem to have the service and all these things. I don't know. I can't speak. Preserve and them will have to tell you.
Them have
But
service,
yeah,
man.
they
Them
have
have
bless.
service
services in
sometimes.
Toronto.
Yes, man, them have
In St.
service,
Thomas.
man. Man,
Yeah,
naively.
man. Rastafari. Give thanks.
Mhm. St.
Yeah,
Thomas
man.
also
So
has
that
service.
it's terrible. It's terrible. So it's a whole new revamping. Remember this the allegory me always talk about. You're in a very tall ladder and
You're
you
breaking up.
realize two wrong where you have to
You're
jump
breaking
over
up,
them.
Priest.
You hear me better now?
Yes.
Yeah, priest.
Yeah, me talk about the ladder that you're climbing up and you reach up way up there and then you realize the two rung in front of you broke. What you gonna do? Jump over? Cause they say if something could happen, it usually does. So they say the best thing for that scenario is to come down off of the ladder, fix the broken rung, reinforce all the other rungs, put back up the ladder and take it one step at a time. So that's where we had to know. We had to start from ground zero. We had to start from that's the way we say blessed love. That's how far me taking it. Because if you
Yeah.
notice the blessed love nowadays, blessed, are some
And
kind
you
of
know the
modern.
thing?
Yes, sir.
Mm-mm. To the
Now,
chair,
yes, Empress Maisie.
Priest Ansley, when me come a camp into the 70s, right?
Yeah.
And a man bowed to me gracefully. Me feel that blessed love from him
Yes,
heart. You understand? But
sir.
these days, in this time when a man say, blessed love, it don't mean nothing. It not come from nowhere. You understand? And the next thing I want to say is, oh gosh, what I want to say something, priest, but it'll slip me. But I'll be getting back to it because it is important.
As it get to your command, I make we know.
Yeah, man, I will. All right, priest. I
Yes,
just want to strengthen you there.
yes, I. So Empress Trisha, you see how significant people like you are. You actually come in the formation. As much as it built 68 years ago, you come when it's still forming.
Priest, so me get it.
All right, go on with it.
I want to point out, right?
Yeah.
They are burning fire and calling out, sell out, sell out. God Congress, since me come to the foundation in 1979, I've been hearing that word, sell out, sell out. So this is not new when they're bawling out, sell out, sell out. But look at what? That I never take anything from nobody, right? It never go to the artists them, where them I got to know for money and ask them for nothing, right? Yet still these brethren find the artists them who them no respect and who them I say Ray. But yet still they are getting money from them, right? Big elders are going to them for money. Everything is that Sizzler, Junior Reid, etc., etc. So in my understanding, I don't sell out that same way. Because the Father teach us that we must fend for ourselves. We must be independent. Him teach us, him show us the way, him give us the broom, naturally. Plus, you make buttons, you make slanders. We have enough thing in our Congress that we can live after, right? We don't have to go and ask no one and sit down the few hours and make them pass and look down upon you like you know somebody. Then when they're ready, then pity you and call you and give you a little 2 cents and you God. No, that is not what. That is a form of selling out too. You're selling out the principle. You're selling out the order. So when them get up on a ball about, oh, the Congress, the Conservative sell out to the RMO and Babs Green and Ray. A foolishness that because them they don't sell out the Congress. If me if you say, where them I say, in a them time they, them say, man up at the yard, Ghana Foundation market and sell out God government. You see, I didn't have any proof of that. I didn't have no proof say, and I sell out to anybody. Can me show me no get nothing, and if you sell somebody something, some money have to come in. I mean, no see no money coming out the countries of elders that me are a part of. So nothing that I am a part of cannot in no sell out. Can
Rastafari.
never
You have too
be
much
in no sell
integrity.
out. You
Yes, sir.
understand? We have with dignity, we have with integrity, we have with pride. We are elders of the Congress. So we can't afford to sell out nothing. Cause when the time come and if me forgot take this shit out here, me say, sister Meg, you can't go call me did give you money cause you did rare. No, sir. When the time come, if me get the opportunity, me supposed to step in at that shit there when he come. Proud and bold, and nobody can call my name. And stop
And
me.
you know, yes, Empress.
Go ahead.
And you know, give thanks. And you know, look at the mindset, because still, right around the board, I and I as a people, we kinda get we heavens lick. Because let me say if my man go check Sizzler. Sizzler you make money off for singing about we, you know. He is part of we. So from you see me come in your yard, Sizzler, you should have make me as your first priority, my Lord, Majesty, because you know say me represent the same thing where you make money off of. So the whole mindset of we as a people, we too competitive, we you know, crab in a barrel mentality. In order for I to shine, I must make you feel belittle you or make you feel less than. And that is the whole mindset of the black people we are trying to out. So we have to get thanks for we twos and fews who come here together and going to influence the world just because of the way what things how we deal with and the mindset with. We're going to break down barriers. Little David going to slew Justice Goliath. You know, we just have to press along and listen to one another. Because we are here. Majesty bless.
Honorable Priest. And
Yes, Empress.
Number one, when the government, you know, and this leads to reparations. What they're talking about all reparations, and if you get something based on just what Mama Miriam just said, that when the ship comes or when it's time to go, that you wouldn't get this or getting that. Number one, the government is not going to give reparations in a form of money. It's not going to be a monetary reparations. If the government is going to give reparations, of which they should, it should be to better health care, more affordable homes for people to live in, and better education, educational system, schooling, and so forth for whomever wants to go to school, whether an adult wants to return to school, whether it's your children or what have you. So that's how reparations practically is going to come is not going to come in the form of monies.
Hmm.
A lot of ones don't want to put in the work. There are, and I sometimes if I go on Facebook, which I do at times, I see that there are people in Jamaica. There's a brother making sandals. We have a brother in the Congress that actually makes sandals. One, so that is a form of monetary right there. There's another brother that he makes sandals and then he knits them and does something. I mean, the most beautiful sandals, shoes that I've ever seen in a long time. And he's in Jamaica. He does that.
Yeah, they're on TV.
There's all kind of other things and people do. So if one wanted to create works with them, you go and you speak to a person and say, if I purchase your stuff wholesale, what would you charge me? It's not that I'm buying a pair of sandals for $150 or what have you, but if I purchase 10 or 12 pairs, and then you take that 10 pairs to re-up to 20 pairs the next time, or you invest that in some other product or what have you. That's how business is run. Business sometimes is run and Empress Akim, you know this, because you yourself own a business. You might start off something as simple as soap, natural soap and toothpaste, some shea butter, some oils or what have you. And you take that money and you reinvest it in other things that you see that is needed within your community that you are able to make funds to live off of and to create a job for yourself and generational wealth for your children and your family. It's not always that, oh, we have to do it and it sounds so hard and it sounds so hard. Yes, a lot of times the money goes into bills, but give thanks that you even have the monies to pay your bills. Things are a lot simpler than sometimes that we make them to be. You know, maybe we may get a store in Miami. Miami community might like T-shirts, or they might like oils, or they might like whatever it is. Like Pre-Snappy say, you have to find out what's happening in the dynamics of the space where you are. And you do stuff like that. Or you have a WhatsApp, and things are so simple. You have a WhatsApp group. How many of us have a WhatsApp group? And you put your products out there, whether it's oils, whether it's clothing, whether it's roots wine, whatever it is, and you put it on there. Because one thing about friends and family and Black people is we always support each other. We always support each other. We're not going to have, not every event you're going to make $1 million off, or you're going to make it back or what have you, but we make certain that we buy with each other, but you have to have the product. And that keeps us out of going to Walmart and this place and that place to get stuff. And, you know, but basic things we should be able to purchase from each other. And that creates, so if I'm selling oil, you might want oil, you should be able to buy from me. If you're selling something else, I might be able to purchase that from you or somebody. And that's how we help each other, and that's how the chain grows. And then eventually we all have a certain amount and we can say, well, okay, let's invest more. Let's come together and do that, you know, that great large interaction with each other to invest more, because we need to be able to create generational wealth for our families to come. Our children cannot be suffering the way that we're suffering, or just getting by the way that we are getting by. We have to leave the legacy for them. And that's why we always say education, education, education. His Majesty said it, education stops at the grave. We have to educate. We have to allow, we can't be here fighting, and our children are seeing. Children see. They don't say much, but they listen. They hear and they listen to everything that is going on. I'm sure that we have Empress Dion, and she have 4 beautiful little prince and princess. And I'm sure that they're hearing everything, and it's always you know, why can they not hear something different? How can we teach them that it isn't just all about just survival? Yes, we're living in this world with all kind of chaos and things. The people and bombing people and killing people and doing all kind of stuff. But within our space, we're supposed to make it tight. So within this Congress, and I'm not even talking within Rastafari, within this Congress, we have to make it tight. How do we do that? How do we create that so that we can move forward from this space that we are in? My Lord and Empress.
Honorable
blessed-
Chair, let me just support Sister Trish here. Right, Sister Trish. You know that the Samuel family have a small little factory by them, right? When I start to make tams, I didn't have much money. I started a small ball of this, ball of that, ball of that. And out of the 4 ball and team, I will get 16 or 12, depends on the size, pattern. And when Daddy went and sold those 16, you know, I didn't take a cent from it. I turn it over. So instead I get 16, the next time I make, I get 30 or 32. And that's how I turn over and turn over till I start to make all 200 by myself. And then I teach my children. So I was making, my 2 daughter was making, then my next daughter was making bags. And the next one was making slanders. While Daddy is doing his craft. At the time, for us to survive and to send the smaller ones them to college, to high school, to basic and primary. So we were, as an example, a factory, a little factory. And then I teach sisters to how to make tam. Come and just make tam, I put in many different patterns. 100 if I make 100 tams, I add 100 different beautiful patterns in the tams that I make. And so people used to gravitate to it, love them, because you know the red, gold, and green. Oh, it's passionate, oh, it's just beautiful with the black or with the white. Right? So it's not that we can do it. We could help one another. We could have a big factory up at the camp. Because Daddy wanted us to extend his coconut works to the younger ones, them into the foundation. Him saying was going to build a factory. You understand? And doing coconut craft is not an easy work. It's a lot of work, a lot of meditation. But when you finish it and you polish it and you look on it, the work is beautiful, creative by man hand. So we could do a lot to help our Congress and to set a way for the younger generation then to have a future and to can live out, but nothing done. You understand? Because no one was interested to straighten it or to say yes. We didn't have a motivation by the Congress families to say yes, we could do this. This is what? Slanders. We could have a slanders factory, right? We could have buttons factory, broom factory, because we have it. Yeah, we had it. But everybody just look by them, say, take 1 dozen broom, go and sell individual, and take 1, 2 dozen, when they get the other, then take it for themselves. And rare. And nobody was cooperating in our unity to make this reliable for I and I. Because that's how we used to tell us, put our pot, make the broom go down the road. If I even salt or sugar, our flour, we are come through in that judgment. And we must eat by our hands and by our sweat. But man just get independent now because Western Union come in and lick all of that. And if a man got Psalms reading for 3 days and call him brother and say, watch me couldn't get to do nothing for the weekend, call me that, and he gone Western Union by tomorrow. So Western Union is the downfall of many things. Because without Western Union, man used to get up, sell them broom, make them slippers, do things and have money and could straighten back the government. You know how much money that I give the family when they were going to Africa in the 1990s? A lot of money. And where get it from? Because the broom and the other thing was running the government. While the one thing that was coming in from his sons and daughter were the government to save. And so him could send so much people to Africa in 1990. and 92. So it's not that we don't have it, we just don't use it. Understand? And we're just depending and sending out there. We want a barrier, we have to send out to the universe. John sick, we have to send for Dr. Fee to the universe. No, we could have that for ourselves. They can give us the mentality, the brain, the understanding, the know how to do it. We are craft. Exodus 31 tell who we are. But no, them days are over, man. I used to see brethren going down the road all Sunday morning precisely. If you ever see man a come off of the hill with them brooms, them set up night, whole night, Saturday night, and make them broom. But them
Rastafari.
again, my lad. Man just depending on Western Union to come in and to make them get money. My Lord, give thanks, yeah. Blessed Lord.
Rastafari. With Johnny Best, we smile at the store. You know, Mosai, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Yeah, man. Jah win them outstairs. We wouldn't sit down here reasoning like this. And some copacetic reason which probably stimulating my brains. You know, it's probably they could think. Cause I go with why you do, you know. Think. You know, and educate myself. You know? Yeah. Floor is open, my Lord and Empress. Happy, each and everyone again, my Lord and Majesty. Can imagine the festivity, what was going on 1958, how much years ago? 68 years ago. No festivity, no chalice abundant, no Congo ring out. Yeah. So, yeah, man. We give thanks that that meditation was so strong that we can feel it up to today, 68 years after. Yeah, sir. One mighty thing, man. Remember at that time, the Bonagees, they didn't have no separation, you know. Bonagees was the priest in that convention, and that I was the general secretary in that convention. They, you know, after that, they went different ways. Yeah. So we give thanks, man, for everything that has been said.
Welcome, Honorable Priest Knuckles.
John Knuckles, Honorable Kes Ingram, my lord.
Greetings and blessings, Honorable Majesty. Heart of love and celebration on Congress Day, my Lord.
Give thanks, Honorable Priest.
Blessed Lord.
Well, the floor is yours, priest. You're coming in the right time. You can bless me up with a nice Congress Day reasoning.
Blessed love, my Lord and Empress. Yes.
I know you never expected that.
Priest times you love Chuman in the day. But you're a lion same way, you know. Yeah, man. We give thanks to the day when the Father set forth a government to agitate for the rights of poor people. We all refer to ourselves as we are a poor people, but we are just the government that agitated for the rights of poor and black people. We're not poor people, you know? We're rich people. For our sovereignty as Africans, we have vast amount of land and material. But that's why we agitate for go home, you know? So we can go build. So we give thanks for today, the celebration all around. I hope every court, every camp, every office, you know, is in that celebratory mode and moving towards a unification of all I and I to one goal, one God, one aim, one destiny. My Lord and Empress, blessed love.
Blessed love, Honorable Priest. Did you go to the reasoning today?
I've been trying to get on, my Lord, but I that's why I made a call. I don't get no entrance. I don't know what happened.
They did break at 11:30 to go back up at 2.
Okay.
Yeah, they did break for Psalms reading and too fast then too.
Okay. I guess
So I
that's
ain't
the
know if
wind
you
I was
probably
trying to
preach
go
it
in.
up yet. Yeah,
What was the wind I was trying to go in, my lord? So
goodly. Yes, my Lord and Empress.
And
So
Priest
I say,
Angela, my lad, Priest Angela, them have
Anna,
to ask you your name. Oh, you're going, them have to ask you your name or whatever. They ask you if you're
no,
from Elder Council.
no, it just go in just like, no.
Priest
It,
Knuckles, greetings, my beloved brother.
oh, blessed love, Royal Empress.
My
Glad to
Lord, give
hear your
thanks to you.
beautiful voice. Yes. Empress Miriam. Sound the timbrel, Empress. Blessed. What happened? I'm not hearing no one.
I see a text from, I see a text from Empress Rachel. You see it, Priest Knuckles?
No.
A text where she says they need 5,000 US.
I did kind of know this prior because relating with Priest Campbell, relating to the chief, I kind of know this from beforehand, you know?
Right.
Yeah. But that shouldn't be much of a big problem. 1,000 from Bahamas, 1,000 from Trinidad, 1,000 from St. Lucia, 1,000 from all the different places should have covered that, knowing the magnitude of this thing for the father son. You know?
See,